Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 15th World Wushu Championships here in Shanghai, China, in the Mingham Gymnasium. I'm Anthony Sims, joined by my esteemed colleague Mark Lorenzo here, and we are bringing to you live the competition. We're in session 4 of a very exciting World Championships here in the Mingham Gymnasium. Our judges and officials are marching in, and we had an exciting full day yesterday, Mark.
Boy, did we. There were fights that were razor thin to the last few seconds. Absolutely astonishing level of athleticism here, and it's just the beginning.
We expect to bring you a full morning of competition of 28 bouts, beginning with the women's 70 kilograms and ending with the men's 80 kilograms. We have the women's semifinals in 70 and 75 kilograms. And now we will introduce our judges.
Chairman of Jury of Here, from Egypt. 副主任彼得沃尔，英国 Vice Chairman of the Jury of Here, Peter Wall from UK. 委员马克思·阿尔维斯，巴西 Member of the Jury of Here, Marcus Richards and Max from Brazil. 下面介绍裁判组成员 Now introduce group of judges. 总裁判长莫罕默德·雷扎米尔 Chief Referee Mohammed Yasser Nejad from Iran. 副总裁判长邵浩明，澳大利亚 Assistant Chief Referee 邵浩明 from Australia. 裁判长赵斌，中国 Head Judge 赵斌 from China. 副裁判长亚历山大哈萨克斯坦 Assistant Head Judge Alexander from Kazakhstan. 一号裁判员希特阿里，阿尔及利亚 Judge number 1 Diana from Algeria. 二号裁判员瓦迪尔叶海亚，约旦 Judge number 2 Wael Yahya from Jordan. 三号裁判员迈克尔绍林，瑞典 Judge number 3 Michael Scholing from Sweden. 四号裁判员阿里，伊朗 Judge number 4 Ali Jahadi from Iran. 五号裁判员李品宁，中国香港 Judge number 5 林俊宁 from Hong Kong, China. 计时员陶伟，中国 Han Peter 陶伟 from China. 记录员周乐琪，中国 Recorder 周乐琪 from China. 请裁判员就座。
And we see our competitors coming out. Getting ready, we have from Switzerland, Priscilla Stabli is competing against Rain Cristina de Oliveira Martins. Now, Martins fought yesterday in the afternoon and beat Nepal to move on in the division. So we'll see if that's an advantage, having some warm-up time on the lay tie, or was it some wear and tear that's unwanted for your next bout?
Our platform referee is Joanna Skamla from Poland. For those of you who are new to Sanda, our competitors are dressed in red or blue in this fight. Switzerland is dressed in red and Brazil is dressed in blue.
And Skamla is this is why we check the gloves. If you noticed in yesterday's bouts, that the platform judge checks the gloves when the fighters come up onto the lei tai to make sure there's no tape hanging off or any kind of something that would abrade their opponent. So obviously some issue with the glove here that they're checking for, seeing what that issue is.
And it looks like she's received the approval from the assistant head judge to proceed with the match.
It's great, though. The fighter safety, always the first priority. I want to make sure that, though it is a combat sport, we want them to remain as safe as possible. And we begin.
Brazil in blue and Priscilla Stubley of Switzerland in red.
Both fighters feeling each other out here. Our first morning session, and we have a leg kick from Brazil, scoring on all 5 judges' cards there. That's worth 1 point.
This match is the best of 3 rounds. Each round is 2 minutes with a 1-minute break between the round.
And hear the sound of a body kick there. Left kick into the body for Brazil.
Our judges are looking to see if the competitors score to a legal target area if their kick or their punch is to the chest protection or the head. The thigh kick is also an allowable scoring. The thigh is also an allowable scoring area, and as you can see in Sanda, wrestling or throwing is also allowed. When the opponent lands on top of the other competitor, they receive a score of 1. If they stand and they are not touching the opponent, they receive a score of 2. That was a nice combination there.
Big hook and roundhouse kick. Good setup. Switzerland trying to power back with some strikes and dragging out for no point because, we have a correction from the head judge that was down in time. So blue touched her hands down. You might not have seen a full fall, but you cannot touch anything besides your 2 feet or you will be considered down.
That loss of balance touching the platform. And it looks like Brazil is off to an early lead with 25 seconds left to go in this first round.
Yeah. Martin seems to be playing a smart game, just keeping just enough range and then landing some good, cleaner power shots here with the kick and lead hook generally. And cross.
Martin's fighting out of a defensive position, and there is a down on Martin's, gloves touching.
Good, and a kick to end the round there in the body, and that looks like Martin's will take that round pretty resoundingly, all 5 judges.
One of the things that we talked about in our sessions yesterday, Mark, as we watch a replay here,
There's that
clean
hook.
technique,
And
clean
shot
punch,
back from Switzerland.
and there is a takedown. When you come to the World Championships, you don't know if you'll be matched up against a very experienced Sanda opponent or someone who's relatively new.
Yeah.
We don't know how many fights Priscilla Stubley has had before coming in, but we do know that Martins was on the lei tai yesterday.
Yeah, we've seen her have already won world level competition just in the past 24 hours, so she's got some experience, and that can help get the butterflies out. Everyone hits that lei tai except for the most experienced with a lot of jitters, and we've seen a few of those fights where it takes almost a minute or even a round for fighters to kind of settle down and get into their groove.
You can look at the difference in the footwork
good kick.
between Brazil and Switzerland. Switzerland a little bit more aggressive coming out here.
Yep.
The
Brazil,
question is
big
whether,
kick,
and
but good takedown.
sort of muscles Martins down.
And sometimes that's the best strategy when they throw that kick, is just step in and do what you have to do. You know, you've already possibly lost a point, so you might as well go for disrupting their balance, if anything, to dissuade them from kicking you. If they feel like they might go down, they might be afraid then to throw that kick, which could open you up for some other techniques. Eve Martin's bouncing on her feet, but taking a shot there. Good shot from Switzerland. And body kick. And there's the takedown.
Takedown. 1 point for Brazil. It looks as if our fighter from Switzerland, Stably, is a little bit more comfortable with her hands. Her punches her kicks don't quite have the precision that her hands have. She seems to want to step in and mix it up.
Yeah.
However, the clenching doesn't allow her to earn points. And one of the things we want to share with our audience is when the fighters are connected and clenching or holding each other, they can't score points.
Yeah, unless they turn that into a throw, complete the takedown, like we're going to see here. But you see that Brazil actually squashed that. So Switzerland was pulling for that takedown, but Brazil stayed and stepped behind and then drove forward and got the top position. So red was down first, and that's
There's
what we're
a
looking
push
for.
kick for Priscilla.
Priscilla dragging down. That's worked for her before, kind of hanging on her taller opponent to get her gloves to touch the floor and get that down. But not that time. Punch landing. Another punch landing. There's good combination on the break.
There's a push kick from Martins.
And a good hook.
Nice hook.
Here we are hearing the countdown for the last 10 seconds of the bout. And again, Brazil ahead on all scorecards and throwing some good combinations to finish out. Good job from Brazil.
Brazil well ahead, and to take the second round and the bout. Again, one of the great things about bringing so many world-class competitors together is that fighters like Stably, but also like Martins, they have an opportunity to see the next level competitor.
Yes.
To watch their fight live, or definitely to watch the tape. And we see the headgear sliding up, which is one of the reasons that we pay so much attention to the equipment, because blinding you with your headgear can be a very dangerous situation
and
for
I
an
think
opponent.
Stubley actually was had some sportsmanlike conduct there. She was very nice and stepped back and let her adjust, which not many people might do, and maybe, in the future should just stay a little more aggressive.
Absolutely, but that speaks to her sportsmanship.
That is great that she was there. Speaking of the highest levels of competition, our next 70-kilogram bout features Iran. And Iran, this fighter, is the gold medalist from the 14th World Wushu Championships in this division. So definitely one to watch. We have Shabano Mansourian Semiromi, and she will be competing against Russia, Kristina Morozova. And you can see the height of our Iranian fighter, and that can be a tough build. We saw a lot of these fights yesterday with the different sizes and people trying to figure out, with reach versus close fighting. I would bet that Russia's going to want to close that gap on Iran and not stay out at the end of those long legs and arms. But
one of the things that Shabano does is she uses that reach very, very effectively. We should see a lot of precision, speed, and strategy.
And
you see
her. We already see the strength too. Iran known for its wrestling skill, grappling prowess, and still on display here in women's 70 kilogram as in other weight classes.
You already see the difference in the speed of the hands and the technique just between these two bouts.
Russia adjusting headgear there. Iran hard strikes in the clinch. They won't score, but that is damaging, softening up your opponent. And if you have the energy and will, you might as well. You also won't get warned for passive holding. And we have our first successful takedown in this match.
Actually,
Ah.
Russia wins that takedown
Just,
because
yeah.
Sharbano touched first, just barely,
Wow.
and
And
there again for Russia.
So we're seeing Russia, and that can be the advantage sometime with a shorter fighter. Those long limbs touch down first, and the lower center of gravity is helpful for Russia. So Russia can eke out this strategy. But Iran scoring much more with the strikes. When both fighters go down, it's only 1 point. Now it's 1 point across all judges' cards, but the difference being if Iran lands a side kick to the body or a kick to the body, that's 2 points right away.
Morozova grabbing the leg, but again, Simarumi very, very strong, experienced, able to fight off of one leg, reaching in,
Good
scoring
uppercut.
lots and lots of points with those punches. This is an example where our less experienced fighters can see a very specific strategy that Sharbano uses.
Well, if we watch Samarumi too, she is confident to throw that right leg roundhouse kick without setting it up. And that's a sign of her comfort in this fight. She can just throw power shots, power punches, and she doesn't feel like her opponent's going to drop level and take her down or catch her kick.
As we move into the last seconds of this round, Sharbano Simarumi well ahead and will win the first round of this women's 70 kilogram semifinal bout.
Let's watch some replay. Here we see takedown and those long legs coming out with kicks and then hooking punches to get around the guard, some missing there, of course. Side kick up into the upper chest, and some of these in tight shots.
Out of
Very
the
big hook there on the separation, rear hook.
Morozova doing a great job taking some very strong punches from Simarumi.
Yeah.
And staying right there toe to toe with her.
Yeah. For all the power that seemed to come in a few of those punches, Morozova seems pretty much unfazed by it. Didn't stop her, and some good takedown moments there. So again, you know, for her strategy, if she can get in and get those takedowns and not sit out the end of those long strikes. We have platform judge calling for time. He wants the mat clean. There must be either something on the mat, and they want to keep it clean for fighter safety, of course.
Our platform judge from Indonesia, Woodrow Wilson Sabrani. Second round.
Samrani.
Iran wins the first round and begins to attack right away in the second round. 1 point for Iran for that takedown on Morozova.
We see the elements of Sanda coming out in her very first attempts. Kick, punch, and throw. And a head kick there. Very long legs coming out. And a takedown. And Samarami's build is so good for coming from so far away with those kicks, it can surprise a fighter. They don't think they're in range, and suddenly she just springs across the mat. You see, willing to leap in and just throw power. And long punches, too. Wow. And we have another takedown. We have no points for Russia yet, and Iran racking up fast. We might see a 12-point disparity, which would stop the match completely.
It's
hard
beautiful
hook.
Left hook.
And another hook and cross.
Simarumi firing at will here, and we are very close to that 12-point discrepancy that you mentioned.
Big front kick to the body. Oh, an attempted head kick. Thank goodness Russia moved for that one. A lot of sauce on that.
You see Sharbano really opening up so that she can get some techniques out here on the Lei Tai.
Yeah.
She knows that this is a semifinal match.
And that's it. We are at 12-point gap and the end of the bout.
So Samarumi ends the second round by winning with the 12-point discrepancy over Morozova.
Here we see her takedown.
For our new viewers to Sanda,
There's that head kick that just missed.
if one competitor's skill level is so much higher than the other that they amass 12 points more than their opponent, the head officials will stop the fight because of the difference in skill level.
And Iran sending a message to other fighters in that division that she is definitely one to beat. And we're going to move up one weight class. We're going into the women's 75 kilogram. We have Benregreg Nezreen from Algeria, and we have Poonam from India. We saw Poonam yesterday. Poonam beat Russia, and to get into this quarterfinal, or in the quarterfinal, Russia was the silver medalist from the previous World Wushu Championships. So Russia got second to our competitor we just watched, Iran. So definitely, different weight division, but she beat the silver medalist from last year. So one to watch for sure. Poonam in blue and Nesreen in red.
Poonam has had experience here in the World Championships in the past.
And we've seen this Indian team really rising up in the ranks in the past few years and events. They're really coming out as a strong team all around. But you cannot sleep on Algeria.
Our platform referee is from Vietnam, cautioning the competitors to listen to him when he gives directives on the lei tai. Both women exchanging punches, not necessarily clean, scoreable techniques at this point, but attempting to mix it up, Mark.
Yeah. It's not the prettiest way to go, and sometimes maybe not the best way to get score, but what you can do is get in your opponent's head and just establish dominance. Or if you think you have better conditioning, pressure them so hard that they're tired early on and then start going for your techniques, your takedowns and things. So we have 1 point.
1 point to Poonam.
And Poonam is in the lead here. And a good catch and takedown for 2 points for Poonam. Off to a very strong start. Nesreen needs to let go and relax and throw combinations. Get some points on them. And we have another 2-point takedown.
So Poonam has established early on in the first minute of this bout quite a lead.
Nesreen needs to be careful because we could see another 12-point gap.
We already have a 12-point gap on one judge's scorecard, Mark.
And just a couple kicks away from that on a few others. Nesreen needs to, and another 2-point takedown. Yeah, getting very close with 40 seconds left. If Poonam can end this in the first round, that'd be great for her moving forward in the championship.
Absolutely, to conserve some of her energy. She
Another
did fight,
kick.
as you pointed out. That's 2 points. And there's another kick.
It looks like one judge's scorecard is all we need. One kick, and she would be on to the next fight.
And there was a roundhouse kick, but maybe not scored.
Maybe a little low. Couldn't be seen by all sides. 10 seconds. And there's a body kick.
Another roundhouse kick. And it looks
I
like...
think that's it.
And another
that's got to be it. I think we're
just
see.
Before the 1 second
there it is.
left.
1 second left on the clock, but that will end.
Poonam has ended the round and the fight because of the 12-point discrepancy over her opponent, Nesreen from Algeria. Poonam will move on from this semifinal round, and there's one of the punches.
Driving in, kick,
push
and
kick.
Grabbing. And that's a good sign of multitasking there. You know, you're throwing your front kick, your opponent throws a front kick, but she caught the kick that hit her. So they throw kicks at the same time, but then she's the one to follow through and get the next part and the next part. And that's just a sign of experience, you know? You start chaining your combos together better and your techniques together better. But a good effort from Nesrine.
Absolutely. This is the World Championship stage. Fighters are coming from all over the world for the best of the best in Sanda. They face some tremendous competitors on the Lei Tai, even for their first fights. We saw this in day one. Sometimes it's the luck of the draw. You could have a gold medal champion fighting someone who's fought for the first time at the World Championships, and it's a learning experience.
And here we see another 75 kilogram fight in the women's division. Egypt in red, Heba Mohammed. And in blue, we have Maryam Hashemi from Iran. Two strong countries in this in Sanda.
Our platform referee is from Belarus.
Iran took the gold in the 14th, and you see a quick takedown. Iran had a different fighter in 14th World Wushu Championships, but their team did take this division. Very skilled in her wrestling. Wow. Side kick. Huge punches from Iran. And again, she is racking up points fast, Tony. Wow. You can hear her almost growling. Some of the Thai coaches call it barking when you kind of fire hard like that. Strong.
Solid push kick and a takedown.
This is going to probably end before this round is over from point gap. Iran looking absolutely flawless in this bout.
Strong side kick.
And another takedown.
This takedown again, worth 1 point.
Egypt still game, but got to find a way around those strikes on the outside and then the wrestling here. She tried to defend, but Iran transitions.
We're very close to this 12-point discrepancy with 20 seconds left to go in this first round.
Iran dodging and deciding not to throw there, not in a good position, so waiting for the break. One
being
warning.
cautioned for clinching. That
And
side
there's a
kick,
side
I
kick.
think, may do it.
We're close. One judge not able to see that side kick, I guess, from their angle. 14 seconds. Can Iran just end it here? And it does end.
The 12-point discrepancy that we talked to you about. Our fighter from Iran.
And here we see the first technique out of the gate. Egypt throws a kick, Iran grabbing, Iran attacking. And you see her hooking the leg, debating, whether to strike or take down. Again, that multitasking I was talking about, where she's attacking and defending same time.
It's a beautiful throw.
Yeah, just a dominant performance from Iran.
Sure. Maryam Hashemi Faroud is the winner of this women's 75-kilogram semifinal bout over Heba Mohammed.
Fighters smiling and hugging, so it's good to see Egypt put in a valiant effort and come away unhurt. Going to move into the men's 56 kilogram. We have Van Bao To from Vietnam in red, and then Futan Abdul Qadar from Afghanistan in blue.
Our platform referee from France, Aladdin Azouz. Our fighters in this men's 56 kilogram, our first men's bout of this fourth session. As you said, in red from Vietnam, Van Balto, and then from Afghanistan.
And we see the fighters salute, touch gloves, and
a round of 16 bout here. For those of you just joining us, this is our second day of competition, our fourth session. We had 3 exciting sessions yesterday, and this morning begins our fourth session, round of 16. You will notice the platform referee, after the fighters have been clinched for 2 seconds, will call stop, ting, and then have the fighters re-engage.
See some quick action, fast hands, and then throw attempts, but good grounding by both fighters, not wanting to overcommit to a throw and then be thrown themselves. Good kick catch. Can he do something with it? Wow. Great takedown of defense from Afghanistan. And a very good attempt from Vietnam. Wow.
No score. So platform referee had called ting beforehand.
Very close bout.
Very close. It was a roundhouse kick from Vietnam.
There he gets on the board unanimously with 2 points for that.
There's a resounding kick from Afghanistan and a takedown. So 2 points for the kick, 1 point for the takedown, 2 points for Afghanistan with the kick, and 1 point for the takedown for Vietnam.
And you see Vietnam finally was able to lock up that leg where before didn't have quite as tight a hold. And a pointed attack for blue. He has 5 seconds to throw something, or he will give a point to his opponent for being too passive. And we do that to keep the action going. We don't want fighters to score 1 point and then try to run away for 2 minutes. Good hands.
Doing a good job of getting that roundhouse kick in to score 2 points. Vietnam with the slight lead here, and great defensive maneuvering from Vietnam to avoid that takedown.
These guys are both moving so quickly and transitioning between elements. It's great to watch. You saw Afghanistan feint a kick and then shoot in, and then Vietnam defend.
Both similarly matched.
Yes.
Not only in size and stature, but technique. It's like mirror images of each other.
I was about to say that. Fighting yourself in a mirror. It's good fight to watch. This is
nice exchange of technique.
Yes. Vietnam opening up a little bit with the hands, but then Afghanistan able to score him with a kick and could not get the takedown before the bell. But it looks like Vietnam's going to win on 4 of 5 judges' scorecards.
And a very active round despite the score.
Yeah.
So
let's watch here. Look at how hard he has to dig in for that takedown, and that was a non-scoring one. Leg kick underneath, the overhand right. I mean, these guys are just flowing into the next piece and having to dodge and block while striking, and then be thinking about the takedowns all at the same time. I feel like you see that more often at this high level, especially with the compact fighters. Their limbs just chain together so quickly. A punch to a kick to a throw is just a millisecond away versus a taller, longer fighter that it might have more time between kicking and then dropping level and shooting in.
These athletes are very well matched. As the score demonstrates, our winner, Van Balto, of that round. Now we enter round 2, but the score was not a high-scoring round. A lot of activity from both of these men, doing a great job to neutralize throws, which contributed. There's an example of it.
Red fighter down, so he rotated to get that throw, but then had to touch down, which means the action is stopped. And that was corrected by our head judge, just who has a different vantage point.
And
And
there's
now we say
another throw
Afghanistan.
from Afghanistan.
1 point throw. So we're seeing Afghanistan turn this around and make comeback for this round. Again, still anyone's game, though.
Vietnam was able to get that side kick in there.
Yeah.
And now we're even on the scoreboard.
Vietnam, though,
Afghanistan doing a great
throwing
job
a
to
big
catch that
roundhouse
leg.
kick. And this is where you see at this level, you can't, it's so dangerous to make a mistake. Good hands from Vietnam, 1-2.
Roundhouse kick inside.
You can't make a mistake where if you get frustrated or you want to intimidate your opponent, go to throw that big kick, they catch it and take you down, and it's just such a punishment on the points when it's this close. Blue is up, but by very little, is 1 kick away on some of these shots.
Both fighters being very cautious about what they lead with. So you see more pointed attacks from platform referee, fighting out of the clinch. No points scored.
Nope.
As you mentioned, Mark, this fight is so close, they realize that at every exchange, there's an opportunity to take the lead, get ahead. Their corners are aware of just how close this match is.
Good catch. And Vietnam completes.
He's able to get him down.
For 1 point, which brought him to a tie on a few of the judges' scorecards. So he is 1 point away.
20 seconds left.
And
he
again,
gets another. We'll see what the platform referee
saw here. Blue down first,
Blue
so
down
1 more
first.
point. And so that's going to take Vietnam into a small lead. 1 punch difference, though, to have a draw on some of these judges'
we're
cards.
at 8 seconds. We saw a lot of these fights yesterday, Mark.
Unbelievable. Another one for us. Good right hand or left hand from Vietnam. Beautiful. Clinching, so no points on those strikes. Vietnam still in the lead.
What a way to eke out this fight within the last seconds. Another incredibly close bout and win for Van Bao To of Vietnam over Frutan Kader, giving us a fantastic match this morning.
Let's watch some of this. Kicks, Afghanistan going in, locking up some of these takedowns early with that single leg. Oh.
Takedown there.
Overhand missing, and then Vietnam stepping deep for this. Wow.
Vietnam had to work very hard for these takedowns. Both fighters, great deal of respect for.
This just shows the level, how these people are getting so good and so closely matched. We could watch this fight play out 10 times, and I don't know if we'd have 5 and 5. You know, it could have gone either way anytime.
Absolutely. You can see the disappointment in Frutan Abdul Kader's face, but he gave us a spectacular match.
Absolutely.
Just the difference of a couple of points in both of those rounds.
He has nothing to feel bad about with that. I know he's going away upset, but great fight. And we're moving on to 56 kilogram again. We have Chen Hao Chen from Macau and Carlos Jr. Bailon from Philippines.
Our platform referee from Egypt.
And so we can watch these two fighters and see how they fare against each other, knowing we're in the same weight class as the previous one, who the winner of this might end up fighting the winner of the last bout. So you want to kind of watch these fights, but then also if you're following through to the end, see where how those levels compare. These two fighters similar build to each other as well, so. Side kick, but Red catching and unable to take down though. Philippines good takedown defense. Blue fighter good lead hand.
Fighter in red, Chen Hao Chen from Macau. Fighter in blue, Carlos Bailon from the Philippines. We're in the first round of this men's 56 kilogram round of 16 bout, our second day of competition here at the 15th World Wushu Championships.
Wow. Both fighters just squashing the room there. They're not allowing the opponent to get to open up their kick, so they're not getting that loud, resounding landing, so therefore not really scoring as well.
Fast hands from Bailon there in that exchange.
Right now, Balon up on the judges' scorecards, but early in the fight and could change quickly. Both fighters off, no score.
For our new viewers, when a fighter goes off the platform and his opponent stays on, 2 points are awarded to the person who stays on the platform.
Again, no points.
Also, if one of the fighters is pushed off the platform twice in one round, the opponent wins the round. So that's a bonus.
Hanging on, and that's why you see these fighters just fight, hang on for dear life. They don't want to lose that 2 points, but they also don't want that threat of losing the entire round because of lack of ring awareness.
Absolutely, Mark. We saw that yesterday.
Yes, we did.
People wanting to end their fights, conserve some energy. If it was easy enough to get their opponent off of the lei tai, they took advantage of it, especially late in the evening. We finished here yesterday at 10:45 p.m. and we have fighters who are back this morning fighting.
Blue looking comfortable on the feet, getting loose and fast here, opening up the lead a little bit more. Chen's still in it, red fighter, but probably going to lose this round and then have to come back strong. Blue with a nice strategy of just consistent attempts at scoring. And so we're going to see Balon win that round as both fighters go back and get some instruction from their coaches. There we see some shots just missing. Leg kick there, so that scores. Punch coming in from red.
And just as you mentioned, Mark, Balon doing just enough to stay ahead in the round. Just enough scoreable technique. Not a huge discrepancy in his skill level and that of his opponent, Qian Haochen, but just enough to stay ahead.
And that's exciting because it means that Chen, you know, he wasn't dominated or anything like that. Just a couple difference of a few techniques, you know. So that's where, as his corner, his coaches, they, I'm sure, feel like they can see a few things that he could do to turn this around and have a different outcome this round. Their fighter is still in great shape, bouncing on his toes, feeling good. And there we have inner leg kick. I don't think it. Some of the judges scored it. Might have been a little low, below the knee or at the knee, but roundhouse kick on the outside thigh for Blue. Side kick.
Looks like Balon has another gear he can turn up when he needs to.
Yeah.
We may see
Oh,
a different level of fighting from him in this second round.
yeah. And Chen just overcommitting a little bit and a little bit wide on that takedown. He didn't have the body locked up, so when he's driving through, he missed.
And he's
there's
off
the
the lei tai. I'm sensing that Balon has really another gear of speed and some things that he didn't have to show.
Yeah, good defense. Look at that uppercut.
You see his defense on one leg.
I wouldn't want to be hit by that uppercut, and he's standing on one foot. Awesome. Yes, I think you're correct. As we've seen 3 two-point techniques coming out of Balon in a row here, proving much more dominant the second round. So, and there's body kick. He could actually possibly get into the 12-point gap range if he can keep the momentum. So,
well, we're just at 50 seconds left, so.
And he seems to have slowed Chen down. Chen was trying to get that momentum at the beginning of the round, and rightfully so, but.
Well, you see Balon opening up even more.
Yeah. And sometimes that's how you're going to see these fighters. They're going to come out a little conservative, play it safe, score, but then when somebody tries to lock horns with them and really challenge them, then you see here, I believe we're going to see the push out. Yeah.
Carlos Jr.
and we're going to stay in 56 kilogram. Moving on, we have our red fighter from Russia, Rustam Kakrev. And then in blue, we have Cambodia, Rong Phirun.
Yesterday, we saw some of our fighter from Cambodia as well. Rong Pirun.
We have in the full competition, 15th World Championships, we have over 100 countries. Is that correct?
Over 100 countries.
Unbelievable.
In total with taolu, about 256 athletes, somewhere more than 250 athletes across both divisions. Those of you who are joining us today are viewing the Sanda competition. Next door in another venue is the taolu competition. Our platform referee is Joanna Skamla from Poland.
And they get right to it.
Round one of this men's
Red stepping in aggressive and off the lei tie.
Off the platform.
That is a good feeling for Russia out of the gate. 10 seconds in, 2 points up for that. You can see he's playing the distance, but wow, fast overhand. He's going to lose a point for that. He touched down first. Not lose a point, but give a point to his opponent. Good takedown, but in this match, in this style, the first person to touch down is the person down. So, unfortunately, not an effective takedown for here. But that overhand, watch for that. He is catching the kick with his left hand and throwing a hand grenade with his right. Look at that. There it is. He wants to arc off to his left, throw his overhand right, and throw it fast and hard. Again.
Cambodia showing us good hands as well.
Yeah. Cambodia still in it and on the board, unlike some of our fights where we see them not get on the board, but he's got to get a few more scoreable techniques. And
it's an appointed attack for red.
And Russia is going to get... No? Look at the hands. He is leaning everything onto those shots as he comes in. There's a very blitz style of punching.
Cambodia cautious.
Yeah.
He leads with his kick, but he knows that his opponent has some very heavy hands.
Good takedown from Russia. Yeah. Cambodia's going to have to keep... Oh, beautiful spinning back kick. Oh, he's hurt. He's hurt. This is going to be an 8 count. He's good.
Really solid kick.
I think we're going to see Russia try to end this. Blue is still wincing. He's able to maintain his feet, but his body hurts. And he's... Oh, I think he's out. He's out. What a performance from Russia. He is not going to get back up from this. That's it. And fight is over. Wow. Well, Russia making their mark on the 56 kilogram division. Rustam Kakrev with a powerful performance.
We look forward to seeing that spinning side kick throughout the competition.
Yes. And going
over, saw that he did damage with it.
He's going to check on his opponent in a great show of sportsmanship. And Phirun did a good job, but those shots were heavy. It is hard to take a shot like that to the stomach, and twice in a row, that's too much. Okay, we're going to go to another 56 kilogram bout. So a bunch of these in a row. We're going to see a lot of the people in this division. So we've got
Ji-Yun Liu from Hong Kong facing Halim Hamami from Tunisia. Our platform referee from Kyrgyzstan.
And now we're seeing some fighters that are taller, and interestingly, both matched up against each other. We saw a more compact fighter in Russia, and in Tunisia here, Hamami, taller, thinner fighter. So possibly different strategies for how they move and strike. Tall fighters like to be on the outside. I say that, and of course he shoots in underneath, but you still have to be able to wrestle here in Sanda. You can't just do one thing. See, threatening
But
with
it
the
is
lead
an
leg.
incredible observation, Mark.
The body kick.
Same weight division, two fighters, completely different stature than the fighters that we just saw, but the same weight division.
Yeah. Well, you can pack your 70 kilograms in any which way you want, but it's 70 kilograms, so you tend to get tall and thin like we see Tunisia here, or short and compact cannonball like we saw Russia in the last bout.
There's
Tunisia,
no score because the platform referee had already called break.
still very good to threaten with that. Good punching from Tunisia, and a good kick and then head movement afterwards. Smart. Liu doing a good job here getting on the board, but he's got to get some more going against Hamami right now.
Halim Hamami ahead in this round as we
Another thigh kick.
enter our second minute of the 2-minute round. You see the platform referee motioning for an appointed attack.
Good trip. Yeah.
And Hamami wins 1 point for that takedown.
And you see, like I said, maybe a slightly different style. We saw, well, a pretty different style. Good straight punching here where we saw the Russian come in our last bout. Hard, tight shots. A longer fighter
And there's
using
a slip.
evasion and inner thigh kicks at range and things like that to bridge into his other techniques. Hamami, good hands again, and a body kick, and a hard leg kick, and a takedown. So stacking those points, he is going to be getting into the range of a 12-point gap. He already is on some of the judges' scorecards.
Hamami of Tunisia recognizes that he's really able to fire at will here.
I think the question is he going to slowly chip away and kind of play the game and get to a second round, or is he going to try to end this right here?
I don't think he realizes just how far ahead he is on the scorecard, but he's just mounting some points and almost had his opponent off the lei tai.
Yes.
But we'll finish this round and go into another round, it looks like.
I don't mind. I want to watch Hamami do some work. I also want to see if Liu can get going. He just never really got his techniques moving here. And we see Hamami getting the takedown, some good punches into a kick, and there's that head kick at the end. And Hamami looks, in that image, you'd assume he's going to fall, but he keeps his feet and circles out and is not taken down.
Halim Hamami of Tunisia wins the first round over Zhiyuan Liu of Hong Kong, China. Fighters have a 1-minute break between the two rounds, a best of 3 round bout in this men's 56 kilogram round of 16
and
fight.
With the point gap being so big in the first round, if I'm in Hong Kong's corner, I think I'd just try to get my fighter going more. You know, take the risk. Understandably, you might be taken down if you throw a kick, etc. There's always a risk, but you have to get on the board too to keep the game going. So we'll see if he can. There he goes, a little more aggressive. Takedown for Blue.
Takedown overruled by the head judge. It will count for 1 point.
And there's that 1-2 lead leg round kick, and then attempt at the trip. I heard the shins clash on that one. But at this level, these guys don't flinch from that.
Little bit more precision from Hamami in his technique, and that's why has a slight lead here.
He's baiting Liu to come at him, almost through the head kick there, and now level change and completes it. Big takedown.
Over the shoulder takedown. Just 1 point, but practice for Hamami in his takedowns.
Yeah. Again, that 1-2 lead leg kick into the body. Yeah, you can just see that's just programmed as easy as walking for him. Yes. And again, cross and then lead leg. Then you see him setting for it again. And it's kind of a textbook in Sanda and some kickboxing to that kind of combination, but it doesn't matter if you know that they're going to do it. It's that they're so good at it, you know? You fight Mike Tyson, he's going to punch you. That doesn't help to defend against it. So, high kick, Hamami. And body kick. Again, Hamami is moving up the score, but good answer back for Liu to keep in this game.
Liu gets a 2-point takedown. Hamami.
He needed that to stay in this with 27 seconds left. He was close to being outpointed by over 12 points, which would mean the bout would end. So he's got a little more time. Can he do something with this catch? No.
He's deep into the second round. Expending a good bit of energy here.
Oh, hard one too.
Punches.
And trip, and he's down.
Taken down.
2 points, Hamami.
So those punches were worth points as well as the takedown.
Yes.
And we'll end this round with Hamami of Tunisia winning over Jiren Liu.
And we see
of Hong
that
Kong,
hand,
China.
and then the left kick we were talking about. Again, right hand, left kick clips the chin there, and then this is this big power lift and over the shoulder takedown.
Valiant effort from Liu.
Liu scored more points in the second round, which means he understood what he had to do. Hamami just able to rise to the occasion and still win.
Strong win by Hamami in this 56 kilogram, very deep division. We now have another 56 kilogram bout. Bilal Talha from France fighting Elchin Imanov from Azerbaijan.
And we've seen some
marching in.
Good performances from both these countries.
Our platform referee from Vietnam. Our first round underway here. France, Bilal Talha from France.
Azerbaijan seeing the opportunity to brush a kick off and then kick the rear leg, essentially scoring that trip, and now going for a catch. And
France taking
down.
Taking Imanov down for 1 point. Both players on the scorecard.
Yeah. And France going
France
for a big hip throw.
Wow. Throw again.
Good job there for France.
France in red.
Big front
Azerbaijan
kick.
in blue. Both men mixing it up early in this first 30 seconds of the bout.
France going for a bit of a close range, higher kick, and Azerbaijan able to capitalize on that. Got to be careful with your range when you throw that kick.
Elchin Imanov in blue from Azerbaijan. Bilal Talha from France in red.
Good spinning back kick there, threatening. And unable to complete it.
Imanov holding on to pull his opponent off. You see his corner watching the scoreboard. They can see that he's in the lead.
But it is a small lead, and they know they want to just keep it up. Wow, great takedown defense by France. Notice how he balled his hands in tight so he wouldn't touch the floor with them, because that is still down. And
it's over.
Huge takedown for France. And that might transition a few of these judges. Yes, it did. going in again.
France showing, and
I think we're gonna-
Imanov touches down.
and blue down first. So now red is leading. So we see how quickly that can change. But Azerbaijan trying some takedowns of his own. This is a pretty close matched fight. And good kicks. France leaping in.
Very, very close round, as you pointed out, Mark.
Nothing scoring there. Kicks glancing at the same time.
Well, 3 of the judges have them scored evenly in the round with 23 seconds
Wow.
left. And there's a takedown. Imanov takes France down for 1 point. France trying to get that point back and holding on, stay on the lei tai.
Imanov.
Bilal Talib receiving punches, and
Yeah.
Imanov goes up in the last 8 seconds. He just shifted the momentum.
Very close bout again. If one can get a clean throw, we are within 1 point on 4 judges, and that'll be the round. Wow.
Bilal's corner trying to help him to see just how close he was in winning that round.
You see,
The lead changed a couple of times.
it
Just
was
misses with that high roundhouse kick, the takedown.
this very strong throw here. And a back kick there that was a little close range, so not able to get out to its full effectiveness. And a
It was a
big
very
lift
strong
and
kick.
slam. Still
So-
anyone's match.
First round going to Elchin Imanov from Azerbaijan in a very, very competitive first round win over Bilal Talha of France.
For our audience, we have 5 judges around the lei tai scoring, and 4 of those judges had that fight within 1 point. 3 of them with blew up by 1, and 1 of them with as a draw. So that means 1 side kick to the body and the whole fight changes. So that's how close these fighters are. Leaping roundhouse kick, but takedown, red down first.
Similar to the end of that last round, these fighters begin this round not too far apart.
Yeah.
Azerbaijan with a slight lead.
Oh, Azerbaijan lighting up the combos a little
That's
better.
right.
Not everything hitting scoring areas, but a good sign. He should work from there more. Getting that left kick, hear
Beautiful,
that?
beautiful left roundhouse kick
But
and a
he's paid to pay
takedown
for it by France.
by
The thing about throwing a combination is, with your hands and feet, is it becomes harder to catch the kick because they have to respect the punches.
Talha takes
Wow.
Azerbaijan down again. He's able to get Imanov down for another takedown.
This is a very close match yet again. And a push, but yes, he's able to complete it, but his glove does come off.
When his glove comes off, it's not considered a push off. Those gloves are on pretty tight. They're not only on pretty tight, they're also taped on.
Yeah.
So you see one of the volunteers who have been the backbone of this competition. You see our equipment staff immediately coming on so that there's not too much of a break in the competition, having to re-glove a fighter.
So right now our judges are sitting at 2 for France, 1 for Azerbaijan, and 2 as a draw. So again, anyone's game. The 2 for France are, 1 is within 1 point, the other within 3 points, and the 1 for Azerbaijan within 2 points. So these judges' scores could flip who is in the lead very quickly. We're seeing France getting a break, as Azerbaijan is as well. With neither fighter seeming particularly tired, I don't know if that's an advantage for anyone, really.
These fighters are in the thick of this second
Oh,
round,
wow.
and he's off the platform.
That was a good technique, and that switched it to Azerbaijan in the lead and getting another 1-point takedown.
Another takedown on Bilal.
And a kick.
And Azerbaijan.
And squashing France down.
So it's a series of 3 points that Azerbaijan is able to execute, 3 scoreable techniques that he was able to execute within a few seconds. It takes him comfortably in the lead.
Another 1-point
for
takedown. France,
including an off-platform.
And Azerbaijan's doing a great job of intense pressure all of a sudden so that his opponent can't think and re-strategize. You know, the corner for France wants him to settle down and not leap in and make those mistakes, but it's hard not to when you feel like all of a sudden you've just lost points. You want to get them back, but you have to be careful as you do that and not lose more points in the process. .25 seconds left. France needs to get just a few good, clean shots. Body shot and takedown would be good for him. But Azerbaijan looking very light on the feet, knowing he's in the lead and now counter-fighting. So he can let his opponent come to him and do things like that. Get catches and takedowns just to secure the victory.
And that will end the round with Azerbaijan winning the second round over Bilal Talha of France in this men's 56 kilogram bout.
And here we see
convincing win.
France take down earlier in the round. And that push out from Azerbaijan. Another takedown, Azerbaijan. And now we...
Here's a case where that announce our winner. Elchin Emanov from Azerbaijan wins over Bilal Talha from France. We saw different momentum in the fight after the retaping of that glove.
Yeah.
Emanov came out still pumped up and ready to go, and clearly that stop in the momentum changed the fight for Bilal Talha.
Good observation. He definitely seemed to get his head together about a strategy here.
We now move into another round of 16 men's 56 kilogram bout here with Hayek Gasparian from Armenia fighting Unjin Yun from Korea. Unjin Yun from Korea is in blue. Gasparian is in red. Our platform referee is from Egypt, Walid. And we're underway in this first round. Still in the men's 56 kilogram category.
Both fighters feeling each other out, feigning, punches, twitching, just seeing what response their opponent has.
Our fighter from Korea in blue, our fighter from Romania in red, Armenia in red.
So yeah, for our viewers at home, sometimes, well, why don't they immediately attack or do this?
And there's a takedown.
Because you're afraid of the response of your opponent. So you need to feel out and confuse them with starts and stops so that it's not obvious when you're attacking and what you're attacking with, because these people at this level have trained on counters for almost anything you can throw at them. See Korea up 2-0 on all judges' cards.
But very low scoring as we enter finish the first minute.
Yep, 3-0 for Korea. So everything coming by way of the platform judge right now. Some hands from Armenia glancing but didn't quite score. Looks like he's got good hands, though, so maybe he can use that. Spinning back kick attempt. And, wow, good defense from Korea. Armenia initiated the throw attempt, but Korea reversed.
Armenia aware that Korea not only has strong hands and feet, but their team has demonstrated strong suijiao or wrestling technique. So you see the caution in trying to work his way in.
Good hook.
Nice hook from Armenia.
And that got him on the board with a few of our judges.
Gasparian finally on the board in the
Gasparian with
first
that hook again.
6 seconds.
And wow.
Beautiful. We saw
Wow.
2 changes of direction there.
That, I mean, by both fighters. Amazing Korea turned that around. And Korea knew they were ahead. Yun moving away, wanting to keep that lead up until the end of the round.
But a very low scoring round.
Yes.
The highest score was 5. And as you mentioned, Mark, many of those were from gestures from the platform. So it's not as if the judges saw a lot of scoreable techniques there.
Good punch. And here we see big trip.
A takedown worth 1 point for Korea.
Kick that glanced into the arm and was
so it
caught.
Wasn't scoreable, but it looks like he got a takedown, which was another 1 point for him. So Korea doing just enough. Yun doing just enough to eke out that first round. Gasparian listening intently to his coaches to figure out what to do differently.
Yeah. You can tell he is a strong fighter. Korea's using great strategy and patience, and some very, very good grappling defense and transition into offense. Again, a great thing to do, you know, if someone tries to grapple with you and then you throw them, it makes them scared to grapple. If they kick and you grab their kick, then they're scared to kick. But
beautiful takedown.
Yes.
I think what we also see here with Korea, as we've seen in a few of our other second rounds, those fighters who have won the first round and also need to get some more technique out, really warm up some of their technique, possibly for future fights.
See him throwing harder kicks than he was.
Yes.
Yeah, going for it a little more with that back leg roundhouse kick. Yes, good level change against the hands and a takedown. Yeah. Like you said in previous fights, maybe another gear here for Korea after feeling comfortable. Yep. You get the jitters out and now you feel you can open up. But Armenia's still a strong fighter, so let's see what he can do. And another takedown.
Sure. One of the big differences you can see in this fight, at least from this vantage point for me, is that Korea able to execute his strategy. Armenia is still trying to figure out what his strategy is, how he can get in.
Yes. Yeah, you see Korea playing with the range, dodging out. And Armenia has to come to him. Yun is up quite significantly in this round and also won the first round. Good attempt,
Spinning.
Armenia.
Yeah.
And a big punch. It's not a bad idea to try a spectacular strike. See if you can just get a knockout. Good takedown from Yun. You know, we saw some knockouts from those spinning kicks yesterday.
Sure. Fighter from America took a spinning hook kick yesterday.
And another good takedown. And we saw a 360 spin roundhouse kick
from Mexico
yesterday.
Yes.
Very impressive. So it's not a bad strategy, especially if you know you're out way down on points.
Another takedown, easy takedown for Yun from Korea. And we're in the last 15 seconds of this with Yun comfortably in the lead.
And Armenia going for the ring out, can't quite get it. Not a clean separation.
We see Armenia trying again for that spinning
and
hook kick.
Almost ring out again, but no clear separation. Oh, and from our head judge, gonna correct that. So blue did get it off the platform.
But his Yunjin Yun's lead was significant.
Yeah.
So those 2 points didn't cost him.
Here we see that spin kick, and it
Yeah.
did cut through. And then Yun going under the spinning back fist there.
Winner of this round 2 and the bout, Unjin Yun from Korea over Hayek Gasparian of Armenia in this men's 56 kilogram bout.
And
we are on day 2 in our 4th session, round of 16, men's 56 kilogram.
we've got a couple more 56 kilogram bouts here until we move up in weight class. And coming out now, we have Yusuf Widianto from Indonesia and Miroslav Godza from the Czech Republic.
Our platform referee from Belarus. Here we see in red Yusuf Widianto and Miroslav Godza from the Czech Republic is in blue. This bout is the best of 3 rounds. Sergey Paklicek from Belarus. And we are just about underway in this bout. Our 11th bout of the 4th session this morning. We have 28 bouts that we are bringing to you in this session. Live streaming on Wushu TV, on YouTube for those of you around the world.
And we see Godza getting leg caught and ring out immediately.
Widianto, an experienced fighter in these Sanda circles, and you see that experience early on as he takes an early lead here over Godza.
Godza getting in though, and that's going to be the round.
Twice off of the platform. Widianto of Indonesia Yusuf Widianto has won the first round because his opponent went off twice in the same round.
And you saw him, definitely have that strategy, know what he was doing, and that's what you get when you have experience in Sanda. A punch is a punch, a kick is a kick. If you're good in a striking or grappling art, you should be able to transition that. But there is also knowledge of how to do well in this sport in particular, and you've got to know where the edge of that lei tai is and keep yourself on it, or your rounds are going to come to an end way earlier than you'd like.
So Mark, one of the things we'll look for in the second round, does Yusuf Widianto need to get some time there on the lei tai, because once the competition starts, the fighters can't come and practice on the lei tai. So does he use his second round knowing that he's very easily won his first round? Godza didn't give him anything that he really couldn't contend with. Does he use his time to sort of warm up?
And right out of the gate, catching a kick and sweeping. Catching the kick, and again. Widianto just very experienced. Good side kick. Now he's opening up his strikes. Yes, I think you're correct. He's going to bob on his feet, play the game a little bit.
Godza doing a great job mixing up, getting his technique out there, making the most of his time.
And another takedown.
And, right. You notice that Widianto is not taking him off the lei tai, but just throwing him. Each of those throws 2 points. So
he's going to go for that 12-point gap, I think, like you were saying, and not go with 2 ring outs. He wants to get his takedowns, his strikes, going for what time he can. Still only 40 seconds into the second round, and he is already in the double digits on many judges' scorecards. And big throw.
Trying to push him off the lei tai.
That might be it. No, we're close. But this is probably not going to go the distance of this round. He's good defense from Indonesia. You see, he did not take the kick on the body, block with the arms. And that's what you were saying. He's getting that practice of letting somebody throw at him, and even though he can dominate, it doesn't mean you can be untouchable, you know? So, but you want to try.
Well, he
So,
needs this time. He needs
yeah,
this time out there.
that's
That's a
going to be
push
it.
kick. He
No? Okay. Close.
Well, it's because Gatsa really mixed it up and actually earned some points.
Yes. And to God's credit, he looks like a solid fighter. He's just dealing with...
There's another solid kick. Both of those kicks were solid kicks to the torso that happened to knock him off the platform.
It looked like Indonesia almost wanted to keep him on.
Widianto did not use his skill to throw him off the platform anytime earlier in the round.
No.
He wanted him on the platform to give him some time to fight.
Yes.
Gatsa coming up against a very, very strong opponent. And the winner of this bout, Yusuf Widianto of Indonesia, wins this men's 56-kilogram bout over Miroslav Gatsa from the Czech Republic. We now move on to our next men's 56-kilogram fight. We'll hear a lot of crowd support. Our fighter from China, Guoshun Shen, in red, will fight Kaiwen Kelvin Teng from Malaysia. Teng in blue, Shen in red. Our platform referee from Korea, Teng from Malaysia in blue, and Shen from China in red. And we're underway in this first round. Guoshun Shen showed us very convincing fight yesterday. Malaysia, and a beautiful over-the-shoulder throw by Guoshun Shen for 2 points early in the round. Teng showing us his hand speed and able to push Guoshun Shen down. He'll earn 2 points for that. Teng showing us that he's able to mix it up with his punches. Shen an easy reversal and throws him down for 1 point. Strong roundhouse kick blocked by Shen, but strong enough to move him. And there's a takedown. However, I saw Teng's headgear touch the platform first, so those points will go to Guoshun Shen, and Guoshun Shen another 1 point takedown.
Yeah.
And he has a comfortable lead. Our fighter in red from China, Guoshun Shen, fighting Kai Teng from Malaysia in blue. Lot of action in this first 55 seconds of the bout.
And we saw Shen beat Morocco yesterday and really put on a display of his skills. So wonder if he can run away with this first round and then get that second round practice just like we saw in the last round, if he can dominate that highly against Malaysia. Malaysia is still staying in the fight.
Teng, yes, but not able to really counter the throws.
And we're going to hit 12 points in just a second here if things don't change.
Right. In under a minute and 45 seconds of the bout. That shows you just how skillful Guoshun Shen has been in this. There's another 2 point takedown. We're in double digits for Guoshun Shen, and another 2 point takedown, and I'm sure that'll be enough to move us. Just one.
Waiting for that to tick. Yeah. One judge. Yep. Maybe he'll hang back. Yep. He's going to go for a second round. So we do get a second round. Malaysia doing his best, Tang trying, but the transitions, we see this
It's a beautiful
huge
throw.
lift and throw, 2 points. The transitions from Shen, where he can kick, punch, punch again, just flow into the next movement, dodging underneath, staying low and going right into takedown.
Kai Teng from Malaysia showing us a lot of heart and willingness to get in there and mix it up. He just happens to be with a fighter in Guoshin Shin that is at a very elite level.
Yeah.
Fighters know when they come to fight these countries, Iran, China, Vietnam, Indonesia, Egypt, some of these
India,
countries
Turkey.
that have depth in their Sanda,
Yeah.
that they know it will be a tough match.
Wow, good power. Yep.
You see Guoshin really mixing it up,
Yep.
letting his hands fly a little bit more. Most of his points last round were won on his takedowns, his throws.
So yeah, just like you said, getting to warm up the hands a little bit, maybe just let them fly.
Practicing the speed and snap of his punches right now. If you watch him, he's working his way in.
Switch kick there, high, and then an overhand, right? And you see that high-level skill where he holds for a second passively almost and then wrenches very quickly. It can really confound your opponent because they think we're going
Look at
to
him
hold
working
and have
his
a break.
hands.
Good hands.
Strong punches.
Yes.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up with a standing 8 count if he gets too many of those punches to Teng, because Teng's not able to stop those punches coming in.
Good hook landing. Teng turning away a little from those. Teng's still looking strong and having his base, but he's balling up with his hands very close together just defensively.
Right. He's trying to defend against those punches.
And off just from strikes.
We're 1 point away from the 12-point discrepancy, but
we
just
also get
ended
2
the
off the
round.
lap. 2 off the lap, yeah.
That's the end of a very convincing round 2 for Guoshin Shen over Kai Teng from Malaysia. The winner, our athlete in red from China, Guoshin Shen, over Kai Teng from Malaysia in blue.
Little fireworks display there for him.
For our hometown fighter.
Yeah. And let's watch the replay here. We see low kick, that right hand, like you were saying, those strong hand strikes. And here he gets a takedown, locking up the arm and making sure his opponent touches first. Front kick underneath. Again, right hand and then left hook.
A platform referee, Aladin Azouz from France. We've moved now into our men's 60 kilogram, another deep category, round of 16. Our first fight in the round of 16 bout in our morning session, this 4th session of the World Championships. Lucas Pereira from Brazil and Ali Magdama from Russia. Ali, an incredible fighter that has shown us some just superb Sanda in his matches.
He is the Ali Magomedov 14th World Wushu Championships gold medalist. So for Brazil, Pereira knows he's going against the person that won this event last time. So he's got nothing to lose, and he's really going for it. Wow. Pereira letting it be known early that he's here to fight, and he's not afraid.
Good exchange, good exchange.
Front kick.
Good.
Catch. Yeah. This is a good fight. But a takedown for Russia. Spinning back kick. Doesn't land. Body kick on the separation. Pulling Russia up on the judges' scorecards a bit. Oh, but...
And a nice takedown by Pereira of Brazil.
So right now, Brazil in the lead across the scorecards, but it's a very close match. Spinning back fist landing on the glove, too. You saw him shorten his elbow in to make sure he landed and connected to score. Grab, and was going to try a ring out, but Brazil held on very tight.
Good defense by Brazil.
Yeah.
He's in a very vulnerable position at that point.
Check the kick there, so no points.
Brazil's corner really trying to edge him on and let him know just how close he is in this round against the champion.
We have just seen it transition between draw and red to blue. Blue up now. Russia up on 3 judges' scorecards. 1 is a draw. This is such a close bout. Oh, but Russia, 2 points on that takedown. That is huge in those last 10 seconds. And a leg kick, dodging, catching. Can't complete that last takedown. Russia with that final 2-point takedown. Here, let's look at the action. We have Brazil coming in strong, but Russia rolling to throw. Would have been Russia down first, I believe, but they both went off the lei tai, so no points in that technique.
You're correct, Mark. You see
body kick and fading away so that Russia gets those points, and Brazil does not get points back on that one. But good catch and drive here for Brazil, and that will be 1 point. So
just as he came off the lei tai, you could see Lucas looking up at the scoreboard to see the judges' score. He could see just how close the round was. Here is a matter of executing the strategy he used before.
Yeah.
The sort of fearlessness he took into the ring against a champion.
We heard him give a yell as he entered the lei tai. Right. He's amping himself up.
We also know that Ali Magomedov has 1 round under his belt, and we know that he has
right hand.
A gear that will let him to execute, and we see that strong punches and techniques. You can see him really attempting to be oppressive because he knows his opponent pushed him in the round, and he has some power behind his technique.
Yeah, Magomedov throwing that right hand hard. That's going to slow down his... See, there it is. And a left hook. Brazil needs to watch those punches. He's arcing his elbows out a little too wide and letting those punches get through. Russia's throwing very tight arcs on those overhands and hooks. And you see now it's harder for Brazil to be aggressive. Oh, good head kick defense by Brazil. But yeah, Russia, let it be known early, don't come at me. And good kick attempt, and Russia attempting to throw. Russia up on points, but Brazil still in striking distance, but looking a little bit flat-footed. So he's got to get a strategy going, figure out what he wants to do, and go.
Well, the difference is in the first round, Brazil was able to execute and actually build points. Now he's been much more defensive as Magomedov has come out with some heavy blows, but Brazil's not executing as he did in the first round, which is limiting his ability to earn points. was an exhausting first round, I'm sure, for him.
We saw Russia get one warning for passive holding, just being cautioned that he needs to try a takedown or strike when they're clinched. You can't passively hold in Sanda.
But you see Ali Magomedov being much more audacious, spinning back fist there.
And
most of his techniques have been heavy hands coming in.
Yeah. It looks like he knows he's up. He's bouncing on his feet now, just circling
He
out.
does. His corner has told him he did enough.
Yeah.
An applause from the corner for Brazil. Again,
Wow.
looking up at the scoreboard to see just what the count was.
And, you know, that's a tough one. Brazil is always going to come with heart. Brazilian fighters don't know fear, so they're going to come hard. But it's when you go up against the gold medalist from the 14th championships, you know you're going to have a very tough fight. He did his best and just came up shy. But
great job. But the winner, Ali Magomedov from Russia.
This division is so exciting for me because we saw Sung-Hyun Jo, the silver medalist in this division earlier yesterday, win his fight. So we might see a repeat of their battle for gold again here in the 15th World Wushu Championships. 60 kilogram, very exciting division.
We have in our next 60 kilogram bout, Mark, Bayu Putera from Indonesia fighting Augustin Peralta from Argentina. Indonesia fighting Argentina. Our platform referee, Joanna Skamla from Poland.
Argentina, hosts of the most recent Pan American Wushu Championships. So we saw them about a year ago hosting the Pan American event. And good to see our friends back here on the world stage. Putera stalking, Peralta circling on the outside, but quick reflexes for Peralta. And a feint for strikes, goes for a shot, but Indonesia smart, putting weight on and spinning out to earn the points for takedown. Quick hands from Argentina. But Indonesia has strong rooting.
Hmm.
2 points.
One point there for the takedown that was initially called as no points and overruled. Peralta on the outside having trouble getting in to Putera.
Looks like Putera's a little bit taller, threatening with those longer kicks, lashing towards the face. Wow.
Both fighters off the platform. There's no score.
It's a tough one. Putera seems to have good kicks and then also very strong grappling and takedown defense. But
Putera gets the takedown there, Mark.
Or Peralta getting the takedown.
Peralta,
Sorry, yeah. Peralta is fighting his way through and getting a few of these. So it's just a lot of work. So hopefully he can kind of figure it out.
Peralta from Argentina in blue, Putera from Indonesia in red.
Good takedown attempt, but reversal by
Nice
Indonesia.
reverse and a 2-point technique there for Bayu Putera from Indonesia. Good reverse for him.
And Indonesia in the lead with 15 seconds left. Pretty strong lead, but Argentina still putting a stamp on the
Peralta
fight.
gets that 1 point. Indonesia still in the lead as we move into the last 10 seconds of this bout. It looks like Indonesia, of this first round of the bout, Indonesia will come out on top.
Side kick upstairs for red, and that will be the
that'll
round.
end the round, with Bayu Braka Putera of Indonesia winning the first round of this bout over Agustin Peralta of Argentina.
See both fighters missing on their punches there, but
There's
there's
a
a good
strong
punch.
from Peralta.
And trip attempt, and he gets it on this one. So red was down first on that takedown. Saw both fighters each get some of those takedowns, and transition and reversal for Putera a couple times.
As we've pointed out, Mark, this is a very deep division. We've seen some incredible fights so far. Some of the fighters that are coming up, we had an opportunity to see yesterday.
Yeah. And our fighters returning to the platform. Our platform judge from Poland checking mouth guards, and then starting.
Second round action here.
Both fighters right foot in front, southpaw. And red gets the takedown.
Peralta tried the takedown initially, but Indonesia with great rooting and just reversed the momentum.
I think Indonesia is going to be more aggressive now. We're seeing him stalking faster. You see the tempo. He's hopping forward, and not backing off. Realize he can get some score. And Peralta is being much more evasive now, which he's going to have to get some points.
Peralta going for the throw off the lei tai.
And no dice.
Peralta very much feeling in this round and bout.
And
not
Peralta
just willing to defend, but
down
also
first. Yeah, so for our viewers, Peralta did get a takedown there, but he touched his knee down first. He's touching down and then trying to drag his opponent down. The match stops the minute something other than your feet are on the ground. So if you touch your glove as you're trying to throw your opponent, that's it. You're down first, and that's what the platform judge is signaling. Good takedown defense from China, but Armenia threatening that takedown, and again with the, wow. We'll see how this combination of techniques plays out as the round goes on. Kicking, catching the kick, and the kick defense back and forth.
China, the shorter fighter here, and extremely flexible, but showing the strength of being able, and balance of being able to fight on one leg. And
look at that. Just high level knowledge of how to not touch the mat, planking out and staying on the balls of your feet when you're out like that. And ring out for China against Armenia. 2 points for China. And now Armenia has to make sure that doesn't happen again in this round, or the round is over.
But fairly evenly matched on points.
Yes.
Tehran of Armenia right in this match.
Good
China
shot
scoring
from China.
some points,
And
a
it's
second
over.
off platform
First round.
to win the round.
Strong punch combination from China, and then a push out.
Li Jiepan of China wins round 1. Our fighter in blue.
And we see here snagging the leg, driving and getting that first ring out. And then here that hard right hand. And then push. And Armenia's credit, he took that right hand and was still swinging back, but the momentum for China, once you turn someone's head, you can move and push and get a one-up on your opponent. They don't have time to respond to your next action.
Well, we know that our fighter from China has more tools in his arsenal. He showed us his ability to balance on one leg, his strength, his defensive posture on one leg. But the other thing is that Armenia showed us a very competitive ability in his ability to punch out.
Yeah.
He was not able to neutralize those throws from China, but he definitely stayed in the first round with his technique.
And
there
here
he
he
gets
is.
one throw
For 2
2
points.
points.
I was going to say, let's see what China does, but unlike some of our previous fights, it doesn't look like China's going to get to just coast on this second round and show off. He's got to work. This is a tough opponent in front of him.
China's showing us his circular footwork and mobility on the lei tai. Immediately circled in as Tehran attempted to push him out of the lei tai. What Tehran didn't do.
Wow. We saw China chamber that roundhouse kick and spin through and not throw because his opponent was down. Catching the kick and down, 2 points. It's dangerous to kick from the clinch with high-level fighters because that's what they want. They want you to get on one foot. Head
Roundhouse
kick.
kick to the head.
Huge right hand attempt, and then another head kick.
Good
Oh,
block.
China's
Armenia.
swinging so hard, he loses his balance, though. So 2 for Armenia.
Good protection from Armenia for a strong roundhouse kick.
Good right hand.
You see Li Jiepan really opening up on his technique now.
Yeah. Driving just straightforward takedown for 2 points.
.45 seconds left in this round. Li Jiepan comfortably ahead. Tehran on the scoreboard. And Li Jie really unloading with punches.
And this is something you've seen Chinese fighters develop over the past, 5+ years is that boxing, very strong boxing techniques. And it seems like Pan wants to showcase that as well and show that he's not just doing shui jiao or just kicking. He is a Chinese fighter that has dangerous hands, hard punches too. Good block and hook. Wow. That's some hand speed and a front kick. and shooting low.
Taran showing us real core strength and unwillingness to go down on the late tide.
And China, one for the road.
And our winner, Li Pan from China, over Taran Avazian from Armenia.
There's our head kick. Another head kick attempt right after that. You see fire in China's eyes as he throws that cross and misses. Good movement from Armenia. Armenia grazing with the punches, but China going low and then throwing him off balance again.
Li Pan from China, winner of this men's 60 kilogram bout, round of 16.
And we're going to go to 60 kilograms, staying in 60 kilogram, I should say. And we're going to have Valery Paktarev from Georgia in red versus Petham Nuwan Balawardana from Sri Lanka in the blue.
We saw Balawardana yesterday. I believe this might be our first time seeing a fighter from Georgia.
I think so.
In the competition this year. Paktarev from Georgia in red, Balawardana in blue.
And Balawardana, longer fighter, lean and long. Red fighter, not what I'd call short, just maybe not quite as tall and lean as blue fighter. Coming in strong, driving, and no clear separation for that ring out.
Balawardana off the lay tie, but still holding on. Platform referee
Balawardana
pointed attack. Balawardana
drops low and gets the takedown for 1 point and attempts again.
And red touches down.
Lanfong, yes. So Balawardana's knees hit before he could complete that takedown.
So red earns that 1 point. That puts Paktarev on the board. Each fighter 1 point scored. There's another 1 point as we near the 1 minute mark of the first round. So a very low scoring round, but both fighters on the board.
Wow. Good takedown attempt and defense. Wow, under the kick and gets the rear leg for a takedown for 2 points.
Paktarev trying to earn some points with those punches. Not able to really connect with them. A lot of fighting in the clinch. I wouldn't be surprised if Sri Lanka receives a caution.
Spinning back fist attempt from Georgia. And Sri Lanka in and squashing down, trying for that takedown, but can't get it. Great takedown defense from Georgia. I'm surprised we're going that long there. Okay, there's the break. Both fighters respecting each other a lot here. Don't want to make another mistake, you know. And off the
Both fighters
attempt.
off the platform.
No points.
We're nearing the end of this first round.
Blue is up, but not by a lot. So, well, that's the round.
Well, Mark, to your point, in some judges' scorecards, it's just a matter of 1 or 2 points.
Yeah.
It's a kick.
Punch was blocked there, and look at that kick right over the head. I don't know if Sri Lanka knew it was coming or was already just shooting it. Looks like he was already just going for the takedown, but that kick just whiffed right over the top of his head.
Petum Balawardhana from Sri Lanka in blue wins the first round over Valery Pekaterev of Georgia. Pekaterev in red in this men's 60 kilogram bout. We're in the round of 16, a very deep field in our fourth session of competition on day 2 of the Wushu World Championships here in Shanghai, China.
We are
at
having
the Mingham Gymnasium.
Sorry, Tony. We are having 3 sessions today, as we did yesterday. There are so many fighters and fights to be had. So, like you said, a very deep field, a murderer's row, so to speak, of 60 kilogram fighters and 65 kilograms, 70 kilograms. There are many fighters in all these weight classes, and a beautiful takedown.
Takes down Balawardhana.
2 points for a red.
2 points. So he has an early lead here in round 2.
And that's what he needs. He wants to just take this momentum from the start of this round and then keep it. Good punch. And misses over the head again, like we saw in round 1.
Missing over the head of a very tall fighter.
Yeah. Blue down first, though. So he still gets red still gets 1 point, which is great for him. He's starting to expand that lead, and we've talked about that. Just keep chipping away and getting on the board.
He's holding on.
Good defense.
And right now, our fighter from Georgia actually has...
Oh, good hands from Georgia.
And with more punches, he's actually ahead of the score for the last round.
Yes. And we have a warning for passive holding on blue, which is great. It lets Pekaterev even settle in more because blue needs to be aggressive,
You see the confidence coming from our fighter from Georgia.
No takedown. Georgia is racking up points, turning the tide.
Trying to force a third round here, Mark.
I think he might do it. He has also, even in the clinch, landed some damaging shots into the leg with the leg kicks. And while not scoring, we're seeing some fatigue from blue, and that adds up.
Looks like Balawardhana
push
an off the lay tie.
There it is. 2 points again for red, and one more of those. Red wins the round, and we go to third round.
We had so many fights yesterday, Mark. I can't remember, and he's going to try and get him off the lay tie. Can't remember if Balawardhana, and he is off the lay tie, and that'll end the round and push us to 3. I can't remember if his fight was in the afternoon or in the evening, but fatigue definitely was a factor.
Yeah, in this round, for sure. And, you know, when you're a shorter fighter like Georgia, he can hang on him, and it gets tiring as that tall fighter wrestling with somebody who's putting their weight on you. Look at Georgia coming in with heat on those punches. They don't score, but still threatening, and here is that push out. Good strategy. Sri Lanka is going to have to rally and stop this momentum that Georgia has gained in a dominant second round.
Balawardhana fought during the first session.
So we've had only 24 hours rest for Sri Lanka, which might seem like a long time if you've never fought, but those lumps and bumps, bruises, and muscle pulls that you experienced yesterday maybe only feel worse this morning when you wake up. So
well, we can bet that Valery Pekaterev feels some momentum now after easily winning that second round.
Yeah, controlling.
He knows that his opponent was fatigued, and he was able to score and even get his opponent off the lay tie. So that conserves some energy for him.
We see switching of stance and a hard overhand left from southpaw for our red fighter.
Close to the edge.
Kick attempt high, front kick to the body. Yeah, Georgia's got good footwork, moving around. Sri Lanka not out of it, but definitely reacting more to Georgia and Georgia setting the pace. Good sportsmanship there from Georgia, stopping the round kick that he had started because of the call of stop.
Low scoring round here in the first 50 seconds.
And a takedown.
Takedown.
I think that was a cup hit, yeah, and Georgia looking like it was. That sounded different than the chest protection. So he's kicked in the groin, but still completes the takedown. And that's what you have to do at this level. You can't expect the platform judge to save you from every little
And
thing.
it's an off platform
Yes.
for 2 points. I would not be surprised if Georgia didn't go for a second off platform there.
He might go right here. He gets 1 point.
Maybe Georgia touching first. I'm not sure. No, Lanfan.
And Georgia's watching as those big kicks are coming out. Good. He's running away with it now.
Easy takedown for Georgia.
And
same technique again.
I don't know why Sri Lanka is doing the same technique without setting it up. He's seen it's not working. He's trying to intimidate with power, but he needs to throw a hand or a feint or something before throwing just a big back leg roundhouse kick to a fighter in the opposite stance. He did it again, and same result. Sri Lanka's gonna have to watch the tape of this and see that was a huge mistake, maybe because of fatigue.
Off platform.
And he might get it.
Sri Lanka holding on. Sri Lanka showing a lot of heart, trying to muscle through after winning the first round.
Big punch.
Huge punch.
Big punch wobbled him, and he's going to get pushed off the platform.
And the fight's over. The winner, Valery Pekterev.
We see him limping.
Georgia.
Georgia, maybe an injured foot from impact.
Well, he's able to come back after losing the first round and win the next 2 rounds.
Maybe just a cramp. Now he's walking okay. So, and to our viewers, these fighters, even in winning, are taking damage. Every shot you take risk to your own body. So impressive for
Valery
Pekterev.
Pekterev of Georgia, our first Georgian fighter of this competition, wins over Petam Belwardhana of Sri Lanka.
And we see that takedown, and again driving in, catching the leg as it's raised and shoving off.
Who do we have next, Mark, coming up?
In 60 kilogram, we have Bastian Leonardo Angulo Arce from Chile and Vikrant Balian from Indonesia. Chile in red, Indonesia in blue. Indonesia, the taller fighter.
Platform, Sergio Patolic from Belarus.
Show us sportsmanship there. Hug before the fight.
Starts our competition.
And the taller fighter going low for a takedown. Both attempting takedowns, but nothing coming.
down first and India on top.
Oh, another takedown for blue. Blue up on all the judges' scorecards, but Chile's still in this. It's not too far off, but that is opening up the gap. A 2-point takedown for blue. And we've seen Chile landing strikes, but most of them out of the clinch, most of them leg kicks while tied up, and they're just not scoring, as we see again there.
Most of his techniques are just in response to what
Blue.
India is executing.
Yeah. And so that's where they end up tied up. India striking from outside, coming in, clinching, then red attacking.
And admonition for clinching.
Surprised on that with how much red has been kicking in that clinch. He's working while he's in there, but... And so it's not to say you shouldn't kick while in the clinch or punch while in the clinch. Again, a takedown for blue for 1 point. It's that they need to be complementary techniques. You need to be scoring techniques and then doing that inside to avoid...
Balian really stretching out his lead here.
Yes.
A minute and 15 seconds into the second round.
If blue can get a few high-scoring techniques, he could win by 12-point gap. He's actually racked up so many points, which is consistently coming out on top with all these exchanges. And red just having trouble finding those scoring techniques. See.
Right. So in this instance,
Big spinning back kick.
Bastian Ars receives a standing 8 count.
I think that's going to finish the fight for us, as blue will score another 2 points from that.
2 points for the kick, 2 points for the standing 8 count, that 4-point exchange.
We have one judge.
And a roundhouse kick from 2 points for the kick, but 2 points to Balian for the takedown.
I was going to say we have one judge is keeping red in this. It was more than 12 points on every other judge's scorecard.
So we finish round 2. Vikrant Balian of India wins the second round after winning the first round.
Spinning
spinning
back kick.
Back
Beautiful.
kick that earned the standing 8 count.
And when I say the judges have different scores, it's not because of bias, it's because of angle and what they can see. Our platform referee tries to leave open sight lines for as many judges at one time as possible, but sometimes the platform referee is blocking a little bit of the action for one judge, sometimes the back is facing the sideline judge, and they just can't see where did that strike land and if it landed. And they're not supposed to guess. They are supposed to only score things they see with certainty.
We move on, Mark, to our next bout.
We have another
Men's
Thai
60
fighter.
kilogram from Thailand, Charawat Kunpet, fighting Gideon Padua from the Philippines.
We've seen so far one other fighter from Thailand, I think, yesterday.
We did.
And this also will not be our first fighter out of the Philippines. And long history of great fighters from the Philippines and Thailand. So both of these countries known for different fighting disciplines and experience. And wow, big takedown
Beautiful
for blue.
Takedown.
Look at the size of the thighs on blue. You can tell he's been doing his squats. Solid kick combinations. Red checking well against that kick, raising the leg to make sure it's not scoring.
Beautiful exchanges
Yes.
there from the Philippines.
This one I'm just watching as many combinations coming out from both fighters.
Padua showing us great hands and an ability to get under a taller fighter. Kunpet from Thailand neutralizing some of those throws.
And takedown. Kunpet stepped a little long there and ended up just stretched out with his feet, and Blue capitalized. Blue sticking and moving, being very evasive, obviously respecting the Thai's power and wanting to let him come in to his power and move away to get those clean scoring shots. Can be a good strategy too. Give the judges a second. Did you see what I did? And then move away. Did you see that one?
Both of these fighters willing to box it out.
Good.
And there's
takedown.
a takedown by Padua.
So Padua is up significantly on the scorecard.
And
Red's still in it,
off
but
platform, Gideon Padua able to push off Kunpet from Thailand, earning those 2 points.
Kunpet has him close to the edge of the ring, but can't capitalize on it. And you see how Blue just circles around. Body kick from the clinch, though. So no points on that, even though you might have heard a nice pop on that kick. Good punch by the Thai. Oh!
Strong left hand.
Yes. Hard to tell if that was a damaging shot to the point of an 8 count or just a loss of balance. Maybe we'll see in the replay. Good left by the Thai fighter there, though. We see Blue a little bit more experience maybe with the throwing. Good 1-2 from Padua.
Gideon Padua of the Philippines with a convincing win in that first round over Charyawat Kunpet of Thailand. We'll have a second round in just a few seconds of this men's 60 kilogram bout. Our 19th bout of this fourth session, second day of competition. As my colleague Mark has pointed out, we have 2 more sessions today.
That we do. Put on a pot of coffee. Good kicks into the body. That's some good scoring technique attempts there. Some scoring, some not. Some were blocked by the Thai. Some strong hands coming through.
Kunpet coming out a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah, he knows he's got a score, but this is good movement and striking from our Philippine fighter.
Gideon Padua matching that.
Yeah.
Both men aware, but especially Gideon, that this is a deep field.
Yeah.
For Kunpet, he has to get through this fight, try and win this round so that he can move on to a third round.
Meanwhile, our fighter from the Philippines just wants this round to be over so he can start thinking about that next fight.
That's right.
Oh, good combination
Strong
from the
combination
Thai.
from
Yeah, cross
Kunpet.
with the backhand and then a kick with the lead foot. And what that does is, for those of you in the audience that maybe don't practice a striking art, you get power from your cross when you throw it, and now your hips are turned, so your front leg actually has increased power.
Off the platform.
Beautiful, beautiful
Just a
technique.
Beautiful throw off the platform.
It's a great sign of ring awareness by Padua. Dropping low, big lift, and off the lei tai again.
For the second off platform, which will win that round for him.
And the match.
Over Charyawat Kunpet.
And that was a great strategy by Padua. See here, there's that punch, right hand, but going low, catching the leg, and tossing. Just a great understanding of which direction to send your opponent.
Gideon Fred Padua of the Philippines emerges as the winner in this bout over Charyawat Kunpet of Thailand. And we move on to our last 60 kilogram bout in this round of 16 in session 4.
And this is going to be a barn burner because we have Sung-Hyun Jo from Korea coming back. Jo, we saw, is the 60 kilogram silver medalist from the 14th World Wushu Championships. So exciting to see him out here and see what he brings to the table again. And across from him, from Mexico, Johan Arroyo.
Our platform referee is Joanna Skamla.
Referee from Poland. And we're underway. No points for these punches, but Mexico trying to rough up the Korean fighter. But Joe, very experienced, going low underneath those hands. Even though he's the taller fighter, he knows if someone's headhunting with their hands, he can drop his level and get a takedown. Joe evading, trying the catch, and going to go for the ring out, but doesn't get it. Close fight, though. Joe just with 2 points and Mexico with 1 on most judges' scorecards. Mexico taking a leg kick there. Joe pushing down on the head and good roundhouse kick from Joe in tight. Inner thigh kick from Mexico, but good takedown defense for blue. Good hook from the fighter in red.
Korea in red, Mexico in blue.
And we see Korea pulling down on the head of Mexico when they're clinched up. Mexico smiles, no, about that head kick. What this can do is it can neutralize their punching power. You're squashing the head down, getting that head control. Also can become very tiring as the fight goes on. Beautiful hook from Korea, Joe, and Mexico answering back, but Joe getting in and getting some more punches and dragging down for a 2-point.
2 points to Sung-Hyun Jo.
Caution for passive holding to Joe from Korea. So no points for that, but if he does it again, he may give a point to his opponent.
So we will wind the last 2 seconds down.
And our Mexican fighter
Mexico trying to get Sung-Hyun Jo to attack him.
Yes. Yes.
That forearm doesn't count.
Yeah. Good
That
punch.
does.
Yeah. And you see how Joe was on the inside with a straight punch versus the looping shot of our Mexican fighter and then getting that takedown. And
Sung-Hyun Jo not at all baited by
yeah. Well,
are you Joe?
Well, Mexican fighters are known to never take a step back. They like to come forward and throw their hands and keep throwing. And we definitely see that heart in our fighter here in the blue corner. But Joe knew he was up on points and did the strategic thing, like you said, not baited into.
Johan
engaging.
Samuel Carrasco Araujo from Mexico, hoping to come back in this second round. Sung-Hyun Jo of Korea in red has won the first round, and there
slip.
is Mexico down 2 points to
Head
Korea.
kick just missed for Korea. Oh, and Korea down and
Korea
off the lei
Down
tai.
and off lei tai.
Loss of balance.
You will see
Mexico coming
try
hard
and get him
hands.
off the lei tai.
Absolutely again. Hang on for Mexico and a smile. Mexico just having fun out here, I think, and excited by that development of getting the ring out. Joe, silver medalist last time in the World Wushu Championships in this division. I'm sure very aware that he does not want this to be a third round. I'm gonna make sure he stays within that yellow box perimeter that you see so that he does not go off the lei tai again.
Showing his throwing skills.
Yep. Well, here's the thing for, yes. So here's the thing for Joe is Mexico hasn't been throwing a lot of kicks, good hook. And so for Korea, he has to mostly avoid the punches. So once that's known, his game becomes a little easier. You know, button up, throw your hands, being the taller fighter. If you don't like what's happening, slide back. And just be careful about that edge. There's another takedown for Joe. And Joe has been dominating the takedowns. So he can play the long game. He can box well, like that. And then he can go in and win the short game with the takedowns in general. So
You see the fighter from Mexico, Araujo, attempting to push Joe off the platform.
with 30 seconds left and being so far down on points, that's probably the one-track mind here is a big punch or there's 2-point takedown for Joe again.
Joe never looking very pressed
No. Oh,
in these last.
feints a kick. Superman punch from Mexico attempt. And Joe just tying up with him to neutralize. And here we hear the 10 seconds.
If you notice, Joe is not attempting to take his fighter off the platform. He's willing to just stay there.
And that's
He
1 point for
takes
Blue.
an admonition for holding.
But he's well ahead, so he's not worried. Oh, and a spin kick
Spinning
that causes him
kick.
to fall down.
Yes, but he's had a comfortable lead in
Yes.
double digits. So he wins our last men's 60-kilogram bout. Sung-Hyun Joe over Johan.
And here's the best moment of that round for Blue was, we didn't see the finish there, but where Red went off the platform. Some good boxing exchanges here. And while I'll say Mexico was initiating all those boxing exchanges, Joe was still coming out ahead on some of those punches, where he was staying tight and sharp with his punches.
Our winner, Sung-Hyun Joe of Korea, went men's 60-kilogram bout, and we will move on to our men's 80-kilogram category.
So
this bout,
we have Jorge Ricardo Mireles Pinto from Portugal. is that?
Portugal. I
Yes.
think this might be
Might
our
be our
first fighter
first one.
from Portugal.
And we see returning Alejandro Cisne from the USA. He fought yesterday and beat Chile with a 12-point gap in the first round.
Xiaoping Chung, platform referee. Jorge Pinto in red, as you pointed out. Mark and Alejandro Cisne in blue from the U.S.
Now, yesterday we saw Cisne throwing side kicks very effectively and scoring with those. Let's see if that's his plan again in this fight.
Again, Cisne has been on the lei tai in a fight already in this competition. Pinto for the first time on the lei tai in this competition.
Both fighters feeling each other out. Red
And a
told
attack
a pointed
for
attack.
Red.
And
Not sure he's aware.
Cisne, very smart. You see how he didn't engage. He knew that was Red's point to lose. And so he just let him miss, forget. Cisne throwing very high, but flashing his flexibility, letting the taller fighter know, I could kick you in the face. Blue, a pointed attack, attempts a kick again. Red landing a leg kick. Blue clipping with the head kick. So Cisney not throwing the side kick yet, but easily catching that kick and throwing his opponent off. And perhaps Cisney throwing these high kicks to encourage the longer fighter to throw those kicks.
There's a case, great thigh kick from Cisney.
Yeah.
Case where Cisney's going to force Pinto to bring a fight to him.
Yeah.
Both of them are going to receive a pointed attack gestures from, and there he's about to.
There. And good counter. Close to the ring out, and Cisney with some punches and push down. Cisney looking very calm, just stalking his opponent, steadily moving into range. There we see that side kick from yesterday, and off the lei tai.
Off the lei tai.
This is all Cisney. He is a few points away from just a shutout. Oh, but Pinto says no, comes back with a takedown of his own and gets on the board. Good work from Pinto. Another leg kick.
Here's a case where, for Alejandro, as you saw with some of the other fighters that have moved on, having a competitive match is actually really important for them as they move on in the competition. Yeah. Our fighter from Portugal was not able to, Jorge Pinto was not really able to challenge.
Oh, we're seeing a replay from a previous match.
But here we are.
I mean, hey, I can watch it again. It was exciting.
Was not
there's
really able to challenge Cisney. And as you pointed out, he was very close to a 12-point discrepancy.
And off the lei tai there from that side kick. Yeah, you know, you'd think, you know, if you're not experienced in this, it might be better. Oh, if I have less fights, it's easier, it's less work. But for these people at the highest level, they're conditioned to work. So it's actually letting them warm up and get their feet under them, get some confidence, get some momentum. It's both physical and mental.
In this division, there are fighters from Algeria, Egypt, Morocco. We've seen incredible fights from Brazil, Armenia, China, Lebanon.
Cisney starting similar, stalking, Red backing up, respecting, and Cisney with the counter and off lei tai. You see Cisney walk into range, almost pressure Red to have to do something, and quickly sliding back. You see his awareness there, sliding back so he doesn't lose a point to the kick, and then getting a point of his own. And then following up if
Pinto's at the edge of the platform, easy push out for
Cisney with the cross.
Cisney.
Big punch from Portugal. He needs to throw some more things like that. He needs to just go, take that risk and throw some hands, see what he can find. Because at this rate, he's going to go off the lei tai again or just be chipped away by kicks. You know, as close to the edge, and he's out. That's it. Disappointment on the face of the red fighter, understandably. He knows he made a mistake there. And blue just capitalized. So Cisney will move on from USA.
Alejandro Cisney, the winner of this bout over Jorge Pinto from Portugal.
Sign of respect to the opposing fighters and to each other's coaches. And we're going to move on to another 80 kilogram fight. We have from Mexico in the red, Luis Rojas versus Abdullah Ramsay from Algeria.
Our platform referee from Vietnam, getting this 80-kilogram bout underway.
So we just saw a Mexican fighter in a few rounds ago in the lighter weight class. And we saw some spectacular kicking out of one of our Mexican fighters yesterday. So let's see, 80 kilogram.
Luis Rojas from Mexico in red. Ben Abdullah, Ramsay from Algeria in blue.
Spinning back kick attempt, roundhouse kick, but blue fighter caught it. Good takedown defense from Mexico. Both fighters feeling each other out a bit, but respecting the threat of each other, but trying to find what they want to use. Big swing from blue. Yeah.
Takedown by Rojas.
Maybe a little too early in the bout to load up that big and show what you're going with. Mexico saw that one coming. Mexico punching out.
Able to get out of that.
Close to the edge. You know Blue's thinking it.
Very close to the edge.
You know Blue's thinking it. But Mexico works his way back in. Covering a lot of ground. Big kick, but wow. A lot happening there. So Blue able to catch and throw, but luckily for Red, losing his balance, so it's 1 point instead of 2 for Blue. Side kick attempt. Counter kick from Red and a hip throw attempt, but unsuccessful.
Ramsay really holding on there, trying to neutralize that takedown.
Big left hand coming in.
Pretty evenly matched on the Georgia scorecard with a slight lead for Algeria. Ben Abdullah Ramsay a slight lead over Rojas of Mexico.
Mexico throwing the kick, but
and off the platform.
Algeria.
So Ramsay will score those 2 points, and he has one off platform already.
Mexico down first again for Algeria. So now spreading that gap a little wider for Blue. Mexico needs to be careful throwing the back leg with such heavy commitment. Algeria is starting to get the sense of how to deal with that. It's obviously powerful kicks, but you can get caught. There's the lead leg side kick, and then a level change. And
both fighters off the platform.
Good aggression, but no score for that.
Rojas' side kick lacking a little bit of speed and allowing Ramsay to catch that kick.
Yeah. So, our Blue fighter
from Algeria, Ben Abdullah Ramsay wins that first round.
We see the big hook missing there. Red catching Blue's punch and then going for this takedown earlier for 1 point. But see how hard Mexico's stepping in on that kick, almost running behind it. He can't stop his momentum, so he lands a kick, but it's a little too deep and he can't pull back, so he just runs into him. And Algeria, really smart. Ramsay realizing the weight's coming onto him, pop it up, redirect it, and get that takedown. For those of you watching, many times you don't throw your strikes with full force on every strike because of the dangers coming from that overcommitment. So you throw some with medium power, some a little faster, some that you don't commit to, and then you feint that you're going to strike so that your opponent reacts to things that aren't there. If all you do is throw big, heavy shots that everyone can see, many times that doesn't work out well. And the headgear comes off as Red tries a throw. We'll see how this scores. Obviously, Red would have liked to have had that be a throw.
As soon as the headgear comes off, the platform judge should signal stop. So,
and we actually got a down first to Red.
Did he show the gesture?
Yes, he did, and 1 point on all but one of the judges' scorecards. So there it is. He's corrected it. So they did decide that And it was very close together. Red did over-rotate perhaps and pull a little too hard, but the headgear came off as well. Attempt to catch with the side kick, but ineffective. And we're going to have Red down first, I think. Yes. Algeria getting the lead here early.
Kick sliding up, not intentional.
Oh, we're going to have a count.
Just got to raise his hands.
Now he's ready. Red, warning.
Received a warning for the low kick.
So that will be points for our blue fighter. And also, should it end up in a draw, that warning will count against Red. If they were in a draw.
The standing 8 count actually should have been 2 points for the other fighter once you have a standing 8 count there. So there's a warning that's a potential penalty and a draw depending on their weight.
Yes, if they make it past all the other criteria. And here we have
There's Ramsay
push up.
Off platform.
Yeah. Good for Mexico. Warning for Mexico, off platform for blue. So both
One
dealing with
round
issues.
under his belt for
Blue fighter, Ramsay.
Yes, Ramsay still with the lead on 4 judges' scorecard as we move into the last 45 seconds.
Mexico's ducking. And nothing happening. So Mexico's leap and throw that big roundhouse kick again. And he's got to be careful because he doesn't want to fall down. He wants to land a good shot and score, but he's going to have to get busy in this last 30 seconds to catch up. He's 2 to 4 points down. See, again, big kick, but Algeria sees it. That looked like both down at the same time. No, we're going to go Red down first. It's very close. And a side kick effective for blue. No score for clinch strike.
Abdullah, Ramsay still ahead here in the last 7 seconds as we count down.
Mexico going for big, spectacular spinning kicks. Just something to turn that tide, but unable to do it.
Abdullah Ramsay of Algeria will win this bout, this 80-kilogram bout, round of 16 of the men's.
We see some kicks, and that's the groin kick. And Mexico saw and knew right away.
Generally, the platform referee will grant a second or two for the fighter to recover, and there's our winner, Abdullah from Ramsay from Algeria. But if the fighter takes too long, it requires a standing 8 count for the competitor.
And for our audience, if that fighter's unable to continue after 8.
If the fighter is unable to continue and a foul was committed, then that fighter would, if the fighter's unable to continue because of a technique that was a foul, the fighter who received the technique and was unable to continue would win. But he wouldn't be able to continue in the competition.
Yes. And so that's a great distinction. They can't go on to their next fight if they win by someone else fouling them. They have to stop there. Their time in the championships ends.
I'm pretty sure we saw Ayman Mohammed yesterday. We have Ayman
Egypt.
Mohammed of Egypt in blue fighting Shivaji Silwal of Nepal.
In red.
Yes, we saw Ayman in our first session in the morning yesterday.
Quick
he was
movement.
a winner.
And
over,
almost ring out, and we have a ring out already.
He was a winner over Russia.
Yeah, tough fighter from Egypt. Already coming in, dominating Nepal. And he's won it. First round goes to him 12 seconds in. Impressive. Now I guess our question is, does he come out and play? and try to showcase some of his other techniques, or does he go for a repeat? Here we see grabbing the leg, and this transition is great. Over the shoulder throw, loses the headgear. That sacrifice throw anywhere else on the lei tai that doesn't get your opponent off actually means you're down first. But
Correct.
if you get them clear of you and off the lei tai with clean separation, you get those 2 points, and your opponent has another time off the platform. And only 2 of those are allowed per round. So the second time you go off the platform in a round, you lose the round. That's what we saw 12 seconds in.
Not a lot of time for our fighter from Nepal to figure out what he did wrong. The fight was over within, that round was over within 12 seconds. So
Yeah.
he'll just try and regroup and start again.
Big head kick. He's wobbled. They're stopping. Good call. There's a lot of blood here. And that's going to be it. I believe we're done. It's hard to tell because the fighter was going to medical, but he could not raise his hand, so I believe that's going to be it. Here we see it. Bang. Oh, very good roundhouse kick, following up with a hook. And look at our platform referee, so observant. Fighter safety is number one, even though it's a contact sport like this. And our platform judge did not want him to take any further damage. What a powerful victory for Mohammed out of Egypt. Very strong fighter in this competition, and one to watch at 80 kilograms.
Ayman Mohammed wins this round. End the fight. Fighter cannot continue from Nepal. That block dropped just low enough, and the kick went over, made contact to his face. Such a strong kick. We have Michael Nicholas Woodward from Australia fighting Lu Jian Sao from China. Our platform referee is from Korea.
Australia's might have a technical. Oh, I see what we have. What we have is we have an Australian judge in position number 1 who is trading out because obviously an Australian fighter is on the platform and we don't want a conflict of interest. Now we will officially begin the match. Okay. So Australia is going to want to come out strong because China, definitely dominant fighter. Good kick punch combination. Body kick, very strong, and good takedown defense for China. Good hook. Leg kick, back and forth.
China also recognizing
hard right
that
hands.
This is time to really unload in the round and get some time on the lei tai.
Yeah, you see him quick shots, practicing that leg speed and accuracy with the hands. And then takedown defense and big body shot, big cross.
You see him resist pushing Woodward off the platform.
Yes. He wants a few more exchanges.
Yes. Woodward catches and China goes down for 2 points.
China smiling as he comes up, going again. You can see the Australian fighter just turning away as those punches come down. Very accurate on that right hand for China. China pushing out, but no score there. They both go off the lei tai.
Woodward of Australia holds on, pulls him off the lei tai.
Woodward just needs to get a little more movement going. He's standing pretty still right now, and that's not going to work. You see how China can mix together quick combinations, and you see the fluidity of those hand and feet movements.
Trying to protect the protect himself against the attack. You see him showing just one side to China. He knows he's up against a very, very capable fighter.
Yeah. China also being pretty
Nice left hook
Yeah.
from Woodward.
Yeah. And off the platform. And that's it. We've reached the 12-point gap with 28 seconds left in the first round. So the fight is over. Australia is still getting on the board there against a very, very tough fighter. So good attempt. Here we see head movement and then that right hand. He's just very sharp. But getting a hook of his own there for Australia.
Our winner, Liu Jianzhao. China in this men's 80 kilogram bout. Another very fast round.
Yeah.
Very fast bout. Our previous bout, very short bout with Ayman Mohammed over Sijvadri Silwal of Nepal, and now Liu Jianzhao, a very quick bout over Michael Woodward of Australia. We will move now to our 25th bout from Lebanon, Georges Aid, Abendabi Ahayun from Morocco. I don't believe that we saw Georges in the round of 32.
No, I think he had a bye. Morocco has shown some strong fighters. Lebanon with a bit thicker build and shorter, but Morocco able to score the first takedown. Good punches. Lebanon wants to keep this a little closer in for those hands, I think. Low score so far. Most judges not seeing Lebanon score, just one giving him 1 point, and just 1 point for most judges from Blue. Turning
elbow.
I think that was an elbow that landed. Blue has to be careful now because it wasn't seen.
Yeah.
And he took damage from that, but he's tough. Seems unfazed, so passive holding warning for Blue.
Side kick.
Red driving and getting. I needed that. He needed that. 2 points. That really brought him back in the fray, and all he needs is one more.
Push down again, push
He's
off.
He's going to get 1 point for that. But yes.
And so Lebanon, Georges Aid really inching up and
good right hand for
taking the lead in
Morocco.
This round, trying to push Morocco off the platform
and he's got it.
again, and he will to win that round.
And here we see Blue getting that first takedown in the exchange. Red with some heavy hands, almost lands with a back rear hand uppercut. Stuffs the side kick and drives in to get the off platform right there. So with the taller fighter and strong power on something like a side kick, one strategy can be to step in very quickly so that you shorten the distance that kick moves. And we saw that there, kind of stuffing the kick coming at him. And Aid was able to just power through and then get his opponent off the platform. Gloves touch, and round 2. So Morocco not out of it. He was up at some point in here, but no points for off lei tai, but leg kick. I'm surprised Morocco is staying so close to the edge when he comes back on. No, it's only 1. He thought it was 2, but they didn't count the first one. But see where he's starting? He needs to circle immediately.
Actually,
Wow.
the fight should start closer
reset.
into the center of the lei tai as opposed to right there at the edge of the lei tai.
That is absolutely true, but you see the more experienced fighters, they will just walk themselves deeper and not allow that to happen to them.
But in this instance, it also looked as if Morocco was just really tired.
Yeah, overwhelmed maybe a little bit, and the momentum just turned for Ide, which
He spent a lot of energy early in the round. Gave us a very exciting first part of the round.
Yeah.
Was actually leading, and Georges turned it around. The winner of that round and bout, Abandebi Ahayun, the loser against Georges Ide of Lebanon.
And we're moving into another 80-kilogram fight. David Kazumyan from Armenia against Daniel Madeira of Brazil.
Our platform referee is from Belarus.
I believe we saw Daniel perform last year in the Pan American Wushu Championships. I think he took gold down there in Argentina, if I'm not mistaken. An experienced fighter with a lot of regional, national, and international bouts. So let's see what he can bring to the table today.
He's moving very close to the lei tai, and he's actually off the lei tai, but able to bring his opponent with him.
Shorter fighter in this fight.
In blue, Daniel Madeira from Brazil. In red, David Kasumyan from Armenia.
And
both fighters off the platform, so no score.
Good kick from red, taking him into the lead.
Scoring with both of those kicks, punches. Both gentlemen in the clinch.
Good combination from Armenia. Brazil just needs to settle down and relax. Up, down. Yes. Our platform judge was just at the wrong angle to see that action, and so our chief referee is able to step in and correct that. High kick. Really going for it now is Armenia.
Brazil both off the platform.
Kazumyan, strong lead, 7 to 8 points, and Daniel's only on the scoreboard with one judge. So he's got to step in and try to land. Good right hand, but taking the kick underneath was Brazil. Our platform referee telling red to keep his mouth guard in, don't puff it out, so that we don't have a loss of mouth guard during the action.
David Kasumyan ahead, comfortably ahead in this round.
Brazil driving hard, but not getting the takedown. Dropping low. And
Brazil's time in the clinch, and also that accidental slide down costing him 2 points.
This could be a 12-point gap.
Absolutely, you're
very
correct.
Close. Just one judge.
We're very close to that 12-point disparity. You're right.
That's our judge still not catching it. He is 1 point away from 12 points. Armenia, Kasumyan.
And that should do it. The punches
But I think that Blue was able to get a leg kick in there on some judges' scorecards, so it balanced it out. And we will see a round 2.
So we will move on. Armenia wins the first round, and although it was a high-scoring round for Armenia, not quite the 12-point discrepancy. So we'll move on to round 2 with Armenia winning the first round over Danielle of Brazil. It's a strong roundhouse kick coming in. This bout, the best of 3 rounds. David Kasumian winning the first round. Of course, Danielle from Brazil hoping that he can come back in that second round and push this to a 3-round bout. But we're now into our second round. This is our men's round of 16, 80-kilogram bout between David Kasumian of Armenia and Danielle Madeira of Brazil. Our fighter in red, Kasumian, has won the first round in convincing fashion. Danielle hoping to change that tide, and he actually earns 2 points and a push-off. 2 points for the down, knocking his opponent down, and then also 2 points for knocking him off the lei tai, attempting to go again, and he does. He gets his opponent off the lei tai twice and wins that second round very quickly, which means that we move to a 3-round bout.
And wow.
Danielle caught that roundhouse kick and was able to throw David down and off the platform.
What an exciting development there to be able to get your opponent off the lei tai twice to come back. And we can see Daniel pacing back and forth. Amped up now, obviously, after a fast round. Can he capitalize on this momentum? Red looking very determined.
David Kasumian led that first round almost in double digits over Danielle. So he has the technique to amass points. You can expect that Danielle, having pushed him off the lei tai twice, would recognize that's one strategy if he can get him over to the edge of the lei tai.
Good attempt.
But Kasumian has shown us that he has an arsenal of weapons.
Good overhand right by Blue.
And there's
Doesn't
Danielle attempting to get him off of the lei tai.
Wow. Wow.
He was holding on to the arm.
You can just see Danielle going in more aggressively now than he did in the first round, where he was kind of getting stuck out at the end of Kasumian's techniques. Now he's feeling rejuvenated, and oh my gosh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Look at that. Brazil celebrating.
David Kasumian.
And obviously, red fighter devastated by that loss. Armenia almost won by a 12-point gap in the first round. And yet, here, that catch and just wrenching him to the ground and sliding him off the mat.
What an exciting finish to the match. Kasumian clearly still winded.
Yes.
A very happy fighter from Brazil.
And who knows, sometimes when you sit down after the victorious round, he might have had a mild injury or something could have happened, and then Daniel pops off the bench and comes so heavy at him. We have 2 more fights in this first, session 4, first of the day of 3. 80 kilograms, Poland. We have
Mateusz Sebastian Chilovich fighting Ali Khorshid Hybrid of Iran. Mateusz from Poland is in red in this 80-kilogram bout. Ali from Iran is in blue. Our platform referee is from France.
Poland, the taller fighter, but Iran taking
Off
a
the
cue.
platform once.
Yeah, taking a cue from the previous fight, going for that off platform. And this being Iran's first fight in this event, he might want to just dominate very early in this first round of his.
Khorshid
Pointed attack for red. Blue able to neutralize.
Ali Khorshid
Hook to round kick for blue, and then a good catch and takedown.
and another takedown.
Blue couldn't keep his feet though, so only 1 point for Iran.
Poland still struggling to get on the scoreboard.
Some punches landing in for Iran, and then level change. Hear the crack of that inner thigh kick. Poland cut kick to the back leg there in the clinch. No points for that kick, of course, but if you're down on points, maybe you just want to get some damage, and Poland is well behind Iran right now. Iran getting close to dominant lead, but Poland getting some points there now on most of the judges' scorecards. Spinning back fist for Poland.
Back fist.
Inner thigh kick, but
and
a punch.
showing a great exchange of some punches there.
But
Iran takes that leg and takes him down.
Iran kind of settling that tempo down, and again with the wrestling. It's one thing that wrestling can do when a fight gets very hectic and a lot of punches start getting thrown. You just take your opponent down.
Off platform a second time. And that should win the round for Iran.
That's the round.
That's another momentum stop that you mentioned.
Yeah. And here we're going to see that ring out as he just drives, kind of sumo style, just swimming with hands to get the hands out of the way so that he can push on the torso and take the Polish fighter off the lei tie for 2 points and the round. Still, Poland showed good technique in there and was rallying with some scoring. We'll see if Iran has another gear here in the second round to ramp up, and if Poland can maybe try to turn the tide and make it to a third round.
Ali Khorshid from Iran winning that first round with pushing his opponent off the platform twice.
Poland looking very quick
Mateusz
there.
from Poland showing us speed.
Yeah. Iran coming hard, but Poland throwing a good uppercut there. Good hands, high
Nice
kick blocked.
roundhouse kick.
Yeah, and some hard inner thigh kicks there. That,
but not on the scoreboard yet,
yeah.
Mark.
Oh, but got a little too confident, and a big spinning back fist sends him to the mat.
You notice that
good defense.
Ali is staying in the center. He's going to fight this out as opposed to just taking Mateusz off the platform.
2 points for blue. I think that red should avoid the spinning techniques right now. He was doing real well with just kind of like the straightforward strikes.
One.
And Iran sensed that.
Too close to avoid it,
yeah.
Too close to
and a catch, and this is going to be it.
Off the platform.
That's it. And the Polish fighter will not win this round either. So Iran winning both rounds by ring out. And you see Poland just fighting as best he can, but a powerful drive by Ali.
Ali Khorshideribi from Iran wins this 80-kilogram bout over Mateusz Ciowicz of Poland.
We're going to go to our final bout of the morning session, fight number 28. Another 80-kilogram bout. Kyrgyzstan, Zumart Uğurlu against Yunus Batan. We have Batan from Turkey in blue, Uğurlu from Kyrgyzstan in red.
Our platform referee is Joanna Skamla from Poland. The international diversity of our competition is always remarkable. We just saw a team from Poland fighting. Now we come up to our platform referee.
People from all over the world participating at every level of this event, in the Sanda, fighting, coaching, judging, officiating, in the taolu, in the spectating.
It's a truly remarkable characteristic of our World Championships.
And much like the Olympics, the championships move to no separation. Good attempt from Turkey. Get a dangerous situation early off the platform. As I was saying, the World Championships moves to different locations every 2 years. This time in beautiful Shanghai, China. Strong punches from both opponents, but Turkey sensing that ring.
Zumart off the platform. Zumart we saw yesterday in competition as well.
Yeah, Uğurlu throwing a kick and then sprawling to get the single point over Turkey with that takedown.
So we have one off platform. We'll see if Turkey tries to get another off platform. He does, but Uğurlu holds on.
Yeah, Uğurlu had that arm locked up very tight, so he knew he was okay. That's why you didn't see him struggle. He just held on. And down.
Strong technique from Batan.
Yeah. Both these guys striking hard, but Batan really throwing the leather here with the fists.
Good circular movement from Zumart to avoid being thrown off.
So Turkey wanted to get a second off lei tai, but actually lost a point by touching down first and not completing that sacrifice throw.
Zumart's doing a good job of staying in the center of the lei tai. Both fighters being admonished for listening to the calls of the platform referee.
Our referee asserting that she's in charge of the action and when it starts and stops.
Caution for passive holding.
Good hook from the red fighter. That landed flush on the chin.
Fighting out of the clinch. Excellent technique from Batan.
But it looked like it hit the glove. Left cross landing and a spin kick attempt. That was a mistake at that range. Turkey's rooted and there was no room for it. So Turkey up on all the scorecards.
Looked as if he was looking over to the clock, but I'm not sure where he was looking. Trying to figure out where he is on the...
And again with the spinning technique.
And he throws him off the platform, and that's his second off platform and winning that round.
Uğurlu walking back to his corner, a little labored, but seems to be straightening up, maybe just a cramp in the leg. See that kick and then the spin technique. He's way too close for this. His hips are almost on Batan's hips. So Batan just steps forward and grabs around the waist and can get the throw. And sometimes you see that as from frustration when you're down on points. You kind of go for those spectacular things. But you have to have in a measured response. and know when to throw it, because it's only going to stack more points against you in our sport. You're not allowed, like in kickboxing where you slip and there's no penalty, the ref just stops and stands you back up. Here, you're giving away 2 points when you slip and fall.
Zumart hoping he can turn things around and push this to a third round.
And Baton, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him come out aggressive and try for another go at taking him off the platform.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, at least get one early. You know, that gives you room. Then you have options. Or just heavy hands. Wow, he's going to go for it right here.
Just
Wow.
as you called it, Mark.
Dominant performance. Turkey has some...
And with the ease of that in 10 seconds, you can believe he knows with his momentum sort of oppressing the confidence of his opponent and
that
throws him off
the game.
lei tai again.
Taolu trying his best. He did land a hard shot in there, even in the second round with a punch, but Baton just strong hands and powerful drives to send his opponent off the lei tai again. Here we go. Look at that, picking up the leg from such a big, strong opponent and just tossing him off. Also notice how he stops before he crosses the yellow perimeter baton. So he makes sure that he doesn't go off the platform, and that's a sign of experience, not overrunning and just powering both of you off the platform and earning nothing for all your work.
Excellent achievement. Excellent achievement for Yunus Baton, winner of our last bout. Yunus Baton of Turkey. That concludes our morning session, Mark. 28 exciting Sanda bouts. Our last one won by Yunus Baton in blue of Turkey over Zumart Uulu of Kyrgyzstan. Our judges prepare to march out, and we have concluded session 4 of these 15th World Championships in Shanghai, China at the Mingham Gymnasium. For Anthony Sims and Mark Lorenzo here with your Wushu commentary, we look forward to you joining us for our 5th session later today.